Alright, good morning guys. Welcome. Let me catch back up. Nikki, AH, Yuri, Progressive, Nell, and Walkman. Good morning guys. Thank you for being the first guys up here first thing in the morning. Mariana, good morning as well. We are a little behind as far as loading in. Usually I try to sign on within 5 minutes of starting, but typical Monday bugs, you know, right? So with that, let's go ahead and knock out the rules real quick. Let's see, for the Ironman challenge, there's no dying, no gear above white quality. You can have gray item gear. There's no gear, enchants, no talents, no potions, no flasks, no elixirs, no health stones, unless you're a warlock, which I think there's, looks like 37 of us now, so we're getting there. I'll make this chart a little bit more, what do you want to call it? Highlight the maybe top 10, top 15, or top half, whatever. Yeah, so it's had to update the chart a little bit, make it a lot larger. So thank you guys for making good problems for me. So there's no killing dungeon or boss raids, no dungeon or raid bosses. There we go. No food buffs, no XP boosting activity, no pet battle leveling, no battlegrounds, no bodyguards, and no professions except for first aid. So with that, let's go ahead and minimize that and get into the world as soon as possible. Yes, like I said, sorry guys, had the Monday bugs, and we're pretty much in the storm now, but on the outer edges, so it's not going to impact us all too much. And let me see. And then let's see, let me catch up. Dan, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Swink, hello. Says hello, nice to see you as well. Swink, good morning. How are you doing? Hopefully no troll this morning. Hopefully so, Progressive. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and put that down. We can bring that up at any time, and we're back in business. And he says, hey, you updated my guy. I did. It took me a little while to catch up. Like I said, I had to make the box larger, more inclusive, I guess. So, it is done. And I think, where were we last time? I think it was Saturday, where we ended. Yes, we ended here. But we hadn't completed the quest yet, so we'll knock that out. So, Stone Talon Mountains is going to have two pretty tough quests. One of them being us going into the mine shaft and killing the guys, and the other one is knocking out that rare that leads us or prevents us from completing the quest where we have to knock out the totems. I think it's like the mechanical air, the mechanical wind. And Burbot, thank you for the subscription. Good morning. Welcome. Like I said, usually I try to get things kicked off within 5 minutes of starting up, but it is Monday and it is a hurricane, so I'm going to blame everything on that, even though I had nothing to do with anything. He says the same troll went to Xanix's team last night. Did he really? And was harassing him? Yeah, maybe. Oh, let's see. Kojo? Karu, thank you for the subscription and good morning. How are you doing? But yeah, maybe we need to report them just for the sake of doing it. I don't know if that's something they can really do about that. If it's not, it's not a big deal. It's the internet. Let's see, my latency is pretty good. It is raining here. It's raining pretty hard at some points. Let's go ahead and make our hearthstones. John, thank you for the subscription as well and good morning. How is everyone? Moody says, oh, didn't know that you were that close to the hurricane. Hope all is well. Thank you, Moody. Yep, we're doing pretty good, actually. What I need to do is place my health stones there. Oops. Alright, so we are already face pulling this early in the morning. I have to say, if you guys are watching Saturday's stream, you'll know that this is our third attempt, and I have to say the Destruction Warlock is a ton of fun. If you haven't tried that spec yet, I would recommend it. It's a little bit more risky, I think, but overall it's quite a bit of fun. I think the best way to go about it is to alternate between using your fire spell and then one-shotting this guy with a Chaos Bolt. So let's try that out. It doesn't quite, I don't think, have the survivability of, say, maybe Demonology, but maybe in the near future it will. Eric says almost 1K subs. Almost. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. We have a decent amount of subscribers first thing in the morning, as well as likes. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. With that, let's go ahead and we did knock out that item. Did we loot him? Yes, we did. So the trick is with this area is to get through as quickly as possible. It does respawn kind of quickly, but also since it is a horde camp, it aligns itself real close to the faction horde, where you don't want to go into that camp at all. I point that out a little bit later as we get to that level or that section of the questing, if I can speak, and I'll highlight that. But for the moment, we should be all right. We've been I think what, previous 7-8 times we've been out here. And Furbot says, morning Q, thank you for the fun and polite streams, really enjoyable. I started Watch Challenge with you guys yesterday. Well, thank you for joining us, Furbot. Which character is yours? Oh, we did hit 25. Nice. So, oh yeah, with that level 25, we're doing a playtime just to kind of get a scope of how well we're doing. So at 25, we're looking at 6 hours and 40 minutes. So not the best, but not the worst. It's probably the best I've done so far. I think I can attribute that almost solely to destruction spec. Toaster says, what are the rules for artifact weapon and legion can't use? And Progressive says, can't use. Yes, sir. So as far as the artifact goes, there's two lines of thought. One is if you get it, or if you choose to get it, it's not advisable to do the solo instance to get the artifact weapon, because the solo instance is designed for people with, you know, quite a bit of gear, and it has a lot of mechanics for a lot of your classes that'll one-shot you. You know, like for a hunter, I think you have to watch out for the tornadoes or something like that, and if they hit you, they'll one-shot you. So from what I understand, and I'll be able to account for it more when we get to that level, but from what I understand is that if you don't get the artifact, you can actually do the questing in Azeroth. Sorry, not Azeroth, Broken Isles. So I don't know how it's done, but you can do it. But all that to say that if you do get your artifact weapon, the only time you can use it is to complete your order hall questing, meaning that when you have to stand in a little circle and put it up in the air, that's the only time you can use it, and then you put it back in your bag and you have to use the white or gray weapon that you have. So that's kind of the fine details of that rule. So in short, no, you can't use it. Conspiracy says, hi, good morning, Conspiracy. No, good morning as well. Hope you're feeling better. You doing alright? I know you said you fell down the, you fell down. Let me, make sure my health is okay here. I'm gonna go ahead and get my health back up. The, what do you call this? Drain Life. It doesn't hit as much as hard as it does in Affliction, but it heals almost equivalently, because since the damage is lower, the healing percentage you get from it's a lot higher, so it's a little bit better that way. But generally speaking, it's it doesn't hit as hard, so it's not something you want to invest a lot of damage in. It is good for surviving, so I'll give it that. Adrian says, good luck. Thank you, Adrian, appreciate it. Hey, it says, dang, I stopped at 18 when my comp was stolen. Man, I hate that age. I really feel bad about that. Is there anything you can do until then, or did you find out anything with the insurance? Now it says 39s. Really? You're already at 39 again now. Good grief. Congrats. Zuzka, welcome to the stream. Good morning. How are you doing? Thank you for the subscription. So we are doing the Ironman Challenge Warlock for the month of September. I know I didn't go over that in the early episode, but Jody, good morning as well. Jody Broussard, thank you for the subscription and good morning. So our pet's still at full health, so we're alright with that. Just going to blow this guy up as much as possible. And then Jennifer says, hey peeps, good morning Jennifer, how are you doing? And now says, yeah, I fell down the stairs. Yeah, that's rough. So you said you're on bed rest for now, right? I'm going to see if I can hit this guy from over here. And just kind of one-shot him. We'll use all 40 yards. Oh, we can. That's nice. So we'll try to time it with both of them. Alright. So here he comes. Try to get another instant cast off of him. Man. He had a lot more health than I thought. So it looks like our Chaos Bolt's going to hit for about 672. So probably need to keep that in mind. But the reason you want to come up here is just be able to grab this quest. Otherwise you won't have access to it just because it's so high up. Plus for the other quest you have to kill the guy anyway. So the destruction spec's a lot less safer than the affliction spec, so not quite sure how I feel about that. As of now we're doing alright, but maybe when demonology, when we get 40, maybe we'll try demonology and switch that over. This does make me a little nervous, but let's see. Painland says, what add-ons do you use? Good morning Painland, welcome. I use, for this cluster of buttons, Bartender. For the nameplates I use Z-Pro as well as Tidy Plates, and then for the map I use Sexy Maps, just because I'd rather have a square map as opposed to a circular one. It just uses the same amount of space, but it's more efficient, I guess. Let's see, his add-ons are in the description. Yeah, they are. I only have links to the direct UI ones. I don't have one to Tidy Plates, so I can probably include that later today. But yeah, those are the add-ons pretty much. I think I have a couple others in the background, but they don't really affect the low-level stuff. I think I have World Quest, but I've also turned it off for this challenge just because I don't want to accidentally group myself, nor have to deal with the little button in the middle of the screen for the entire time. H says, nope, I've been dealing with the car crash aftermath and getting ready for a move at the end of the month. Oh wow, yeah, so you have your hands full then. Sorry that's happened to you, AH. Hopefully you can get some sort of computer back sooner than later. Now it says, yep, bed rest gave me quite a Braxton Hicks contractions yesterday. Ooh, wow. Ooh, wow. Looks like my pet's taking a little bit of damage, so we'll just drain health off this guy a bit. Alright, so we'll summon Sam, resummon him, and we're going to have to deal with this guy right here. I don't remember seeing him before. Alright, we'll just take care of that for now. This isn't too bad, except until they summon more of each other. So we have everything we need here, I believe. We just need to head over to the water for the most part, which we can buff ourselves. So we'll go ahead and do that. It looks like we have another mob there. And Robert, thank you for the subscription. Good morning. How are you doing? I think what I'm going to do is switch it out for the Voidwalker. It looks like these guys are hitting us a little bit harder than I would like. So I'm going to do that. And I want to turn off my cleave. That way I just kind of handle one at a time. We'll probably have to res them more often, but it seems like a safer bet as opposed to me taking direct damage every single time, because essentially if you're a cloth wearer, you have 0 armor. So Zancer says, oh, your gnome died. It did, Zancer. Good morning, by the way. Yeah, our gnome died at level 42 because a rare in Thousand Needles bugged out. So it's all part of the challenge. It happens. So we just kind of know what to do next time. But as of now, it's just a matter of kind of, what do you want to call it? Planning our adjustment for attack, our direction of attack. Next time we'll just land on the floor first. Because either way, if it's there, we're going to have to kill it. Just because it's too close to other mobs that we cannot not kill it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, we're gonna have to summon Sam every couple minutes, it looks like, just because it's not until later levels do you get the little shield buff. Oh, we got a chest piece. It's not until later levels that you get the shield buff from doing drain life. So let's go ahead and blow this guy up as well. It's too bad drain life doesn't put a little bit of health towards your pet. That would have been really nice. Alright, so with that, I thought I buffed myself, but maybe not. There we go. So we're going to come in from this angle just so we don't pull that large mob with another one. The larger one does hit pretty hard, so you want to be careful for that. And let's see, looking for Angel says, salute Robert Cullen. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? I think looking for Angel that's a new name to me as well. So welcome to the stream, by the way. Maniac says, hi Qyune, I have to interview in an hour, so I passed my last one, and this is the final interview for Poltron. Well, good luck, Maniac. Glad to hear that's going well for you. Definitely good luck with that. Is it the last interview? I think you said it is. I'll let you know tomorrow if I got accepted. Have fun streaming. Alright, Maniac. Will do. Let me know how that goes. It's always good to hear people succeeding in their jobs as well as the school stuff, so which is what I'm working on myself. Century says that troll I had in my stream got bored. I was giving it 1v1. Nice. Alright, so with this guy, we're going to, I have 4 burning embers, so maybe we can drop 2 of these chaos bolts on them. They do automatically crit, which is new to me. That's kind of nice. So with that, we're gonna move to this side of the island because for some reason that named mob has a lot faster respawn than most. So just to kind of give ourselves the edge, we're gonna watch out for that as much as possible. And it says, Entric, I told everyone about him. Very nice. That's funny. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and move in this direction. There is a rare that's out here, and he does hit pretty hard, so you don't want to chase him down if... Let's go ahead and resummon Sam. You don't want to chase him down if your pet's at half health, or if you're fighting another mob. It's one of those that hits extremely hard. I think last time he hit me for somewhere near 30% of my health. So these guys in general kind of hit. There he is in the corner. So I think what I'll do is maybe wait for him to come back around. I would like to kill him, but at the same time there's no point in pulling half the zone in order to try to get to him. So what we'll do is maybe we'll go in a counterclockwise motion, because as you can see, the island's already respawned. So we'll go in this direction. I guess we could mount up too, huh? I don't know if he goes back and forth or if he just simply goes in a circle, but either way, let's see if we can catch him. So with this guy, I am going to open up with a Chaos Bolt just because, like I said, he hits like a truck. And I only have 4. And it looks like Sam's taking the brunt, so that works out well. And then we need to kill 3 other normal ones, so we should be good to go after that. Oh, says Qyune, you can't just use health funnel on your pet. You could, but since it's the Ironman challenge, as much as possible I try not to drain my own health because I just don't have much to work with. And what I would hate to come across is to say use health funnel and get my health down low, and then another mob maybe patrols and walks by and you know, is able to kill me in 1 or 2 shots. So that's kind of my line of process. It's just as a general practice rule, I don't want to sacrifice my own health to help the demon, where it only takes, say, like 2-3 seconds to cast or summon another one. So as much as possible, I don't want to sacrifice my own health. So we have one more to kill. I guess we'll get this guy since he's closer to the turn in. I think the cast is, yeah, we'll say 3 seconds. And Zentra says, yep, I just entered Florida. Oh, wow. Oh, we're talking about wetlands. Very nice. I think all of Florida is struggling right now. And I heard that there's a little bit going on in the Virgin Islands as far as the, I guess the police or the government there is kind of hoarding the MRAs and their food supply. So I'm not sure what that's all about. Let's see. Jody says, I got ESA tryouts for CSGO in about 2 hours. I'll come back and let you know how it goes. Well, thank you, Jody. Good luck with that. And Christopher, very nice. I like the spelling of that. Thank you for the subscription and good morning. How are you doing? We are level. Oh, Alexandra, thank you for the subscription as well and good morning. We are all of level, let's see, 25. We started the day at 24. Gonna work our way to 25. I was able to sell a decent amount of stuff over the past weekend, so with that we were able to buy goblin gliders. Just as a fair warning for those who are doing the Ironman challenge, it seems like there's been 2 people who have disconnected during fights, and when they logged back in, one of them died, and the other one was, I guess, at a close enough height to the ground that she didn't. But it seems like people are getting disconnected mid-fight, and then when they come back in, they aren't, you know, whatever they're riding isn't loading up, and they just kind of fall to the ground. So kind of keep an idea or heads out for that. Derek says, what game is this? Heroes of Might and Magic, right? No, sir, Derek. This is World of Warcraft. This is the retail version, by the way. So we are doing the Ironman challenge, which is, I'll go ahead and put this up real quick. Oh, we got a little bit going on in chat. Let's go ahead and, I mean, there's no disrespect, of course. Yeah, let's go easy with the acronym interpretations there. I don't think that's going to be quite accurate. Alright, so with that, we'll turn this in. And we are pretty close to now 26. And I think we're going to have to shoot goblins out of the sky. It's almost as good as shooting gnomes out of the sky. Away from the keyboard. AFK says, hi Qyune, I'm back. Today was the first day back to school. Holy cross roll. On me because I moved to a new school and so you don't know about my girlfriend. Alright, yeah, let's not refer to women in general as that. That's kind of a little cliche as well as generally disrespectful. So let's try not to refer to them as that. But yes. Simone says, Echo Simone, welcome to the stream. This is a English channel, so if you can, use English as much as possible. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and turn this quest in, accept it, and fire away at these guys. There we go. The cannons have typically a lot lower speed. Ghost Pro, thank you for the subscription and good morning. The cannons have a lot of a, not a lot, but a very limited range as far as where they can swing left or right. So if you have to and you can't find anything that's quite hitting everything, don't be afraid to switch to a different cannon. But yeah, sometimes it's a little difficult to hit these guys, especially when they go outside of your view there. Trying to hit the one way back there. But you also have to make sure you hit the guys, of course, and then hit the guys again when they parachute down. And let's see. Oops, missed that guy. There we go. And we're done. I think we were done about 10 seconds ago, but we're done. Alright, with that, we are now 26. So, it's not too bad. All of 30 minutes into the stream, and we've leveled twice so far. Emil said, what's going on? Good morning, Emil. How are you doing? Derek says, check your problematic and misogynist comics, my dude. On a tolerant stream. Yeah, like I said, as much as possible, we try to just be courteous of everyone involved. There are women watching as well as people at a very young age. I think there's some people as young as 10 watching, so I'm not asking for a strict PG chat, but just something generally respectful of everyone. With that being said, let's go ahead and turn that in and turn this in. Now this is pretty much your first dangerous quest in Stone Talon Mountains, is that you take the gnome quest and you work your way into I think the first little vehicle over here, and once you inspect it with your gnome goggles, a mob spawns. And if it's like any other time we've done this with the Warlock, you're gonna have to pretty much resummon your pet after every fight, just because they take so much damage. But you definitely want to kill the canister, which will make more sense here in a second. You want to kill the canister before focusing on the guy. But let's see. Alright, so with that, we'll switch to the canister here. And try not to take too much damage. I don't think when the canister explodes, it takes too much damage from us. Or gives us too much damage. No, it doesn't. It gives us none, in fact, so that works. We have our first AoE, which I heard Rain of Fire is relatively weak, so I'm not sure if we'll use it all that much. Make use of Drain Soul here, or Drain Life. And there's our Druid there. To kind of give you a perspective of the healthier, or the difference in health, is the Druid has almost 3,300 health, whereas we have a little over 1k. So let me go ahead and put the quest item up right here. Awesome. Give myself a chance to catch back up with chat. Forgotten says Demonology is going so far for Ironman, slow going for Ironman. Yeah, Demonology's and Affliction's safer, but it is slower. So safer is definitely the route you want to go when it comes to the Ironman challenge, but just for the sake of making the race more I guess what do you want to call it? Entertaining to a certain extent, we're going to do Demonology, just our Affliction. Nope, neither one of those. We're going to do Destruction as much as possible. But I think once we get to 40, we might try Demonology once again, just to see if that Felguard's worth going to. Jody says, can I add you on BNet? Sure, Jody. I am on North American server, so you're more than welcome to do so. Zoran, thank you for the subscription as well, and good morning. So I'll put this up. Battle.net is Qyune 1285, and I'll keep that up for a second, just so everybody has a little bit of time. Alright, so we're gonna have to switch to the oil canister here. And with that, that's actually not too bad. I might start out with the Chaos Bolt on the canister, so I'll put that back down. And maybe I forgot to summon Sam, so we'll just sit there and drain life. Actually, I'll summon him now. He hits me for about 10% of my health, so you don't want to spend too much time fighting this guy. But Ivan, thank you for the subscription as well, and good morning. Welcome to the Ironman challenge. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and I think I'll start out with Chaos Bolt on the canister. That seemed to go pretty decent, and we forgot to summon our pet at that time, so that might be the way to go with that. And And we'll switch to this guy. That wasn't half bad. I kind of like that tactic this time. It says trigger warnings, please. Nice. Swink says, I think I'll start the Ironman challenge today. I like this. Well, go ahead, Swink. Like I said, anyone's more than welcome to join at any time during the Ironman challenge, especially for the month of September. We're doing the Warlock race to benefit a group called Friends for Impact that does brain research on our tumors research that occur in children, brain tumors specifically. I'll switch to the canister here. So this is just an effort to bring a little bit more awareness to those guys. But the oil canister didn't die quite as quickly this time around. So we'll go ahead and drain some health off him just so we can survive here. Aethes says, I am North American, AZ. Aethes. Aethes? Aethes. I think that's how you say it. Good morning, by the way. Now says, whoop. My famous on your battle net. Very nice now. Let's see with that. Looks like I have that, so I'll accept that real quick. And we'll go ahead and burn up these containers here. But yeah, let me put this up real quick just so, since we have a few new players, our new viewers should I say, the Ironman challenge rules are on your right, the challengers for the month of September are on your left. We might pull this guy. No, we're fine. But for the month of September, the reason I've stopped playing my hunter for the time being is just because like I said, we're going to bring awareness to Friends for Impact, as well as maybe generate some funds for them as well. Don't want to pull both these guys. If we do, we might run. That might be a bad idea. Yeah, let's run. Just in case this turns into something more than we want to handle. So at level 26 is the first time we're running. But yeah, to go back to the I wonder if we can still kill this guy. I think he's in the middle of a... Nah, he's evaded. Okay. Well, that'd be a good chance to cover this. You guys can join. You guys. Anyone can join, whether it's someone that streams or does not stream at any time for the Ironman challenge. I'll put that back. And Hard Gaming, thank you for the subscription and good morning. But it's just pretty much a charity event for those for Friends for Impact. I know I'm struggling to explain this in all detail just because this is a little bit more tougher area to get through. So it's going to be one of those instances where, there we go, we'll block that, blow that up real quick. But we might come back. I'll try to explain that once again once we're out of this area, just because seems like I'm struggling to get through it for the most part. Let's see, Hard Gaming says, greeting from Brazil. Well, good morning, Hard Gaming. How are you doing? Welcome from the southern region of the United States, where we are in the remnants of Hurricane Irma here. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Oh, that's not good. So he doesn't... When he reset, his little canister friend didn't reset with him, so we're going to have to take him on directly. Which is fine. Sam's at full health, so... See if we can get a little bit of soul shards out of him. There we go. Jody says, I'm starting the challenge right now. Oh, welcome, Jody. Welcome to the Ironman challenge and the Warlock race. If you guys want, I don't know if you've already been into Discord, but that's kind of where I was going before I interrupted myself. I do need a soul shard before I can summon my pet. There we go. But if you go into Discord and just kind of let us know the name of your character and the realm you're on, I can keep track of you as well as Keithy. This is Keithy's event. I'm just trying to support as much as possible. But yeah, welcome guys. It looks like we have 2 more. So I will not be surprised at all by the end of the month if we have 40 or 50 participants in the race. So welcome guys. That's kind of exciting. It says, I keep telling Keithy that my character Stormcat 2 is now leveled up. She's 12. Really? Congrats on making it past 10 there, Jennifer. I think we knocked that out. There we go, yeah. I want to knock out this guy with his canister. I think what a lot of people have found with the Ironman challenge is that it's a lot tougher than initially anticipated. For those that are new to the challenge, I think there's been over 20,000 attempts into doing the getting up to 110, and currently there's only 22 people there. So to kind of give you a numerical perspective on how difficult the challenge is, those are the numbers at the moment. None of them are on a PvP realm, so there's that to consider as well. If you want to be the first, you're more than welcome to, but I definitely don't recommend that. That can be, it's challenging enough as it is, much less when you add the PvP aspect, especially with people that are level, 10 levels above you, but also more so even running across people that are your level. We need to slay another couple of these guys. People your level are generally going to have about 3 times more health than you do, so just kind of keep that in mind if you do a PvP route. Hard Gaming says, I'm fine, thanks. Not a problem, Hard Gaming. Like I said, welcome to the channel. And let's see what it says. Qyune, how goes the race? It goes pretty good. Only is level 60 again, so he's been leveling extremely fast. I think his most recent level 60 time is 25 hours, which is pretty good for a Warlock. I think the record is 16 hours for a hunter, so he's doing very well. Dot that up as well. Let's see. Swink says, is that worldwide or US only? He said, Swink, this is worldwide. Anyone can participate in the Ironman challenge as well as the Warlock race. Keithy, in fact, taking a little bit of a damage there. Keithy is who's leading the event. He's from EU, and then I'm from North America, so it really doesn't matter where you're from. Anyone can participate. Alright, so if that wasn't difficult enough, the canister quest there, the next leg of the quest is, or this next portion of the quest is probably one of the more harder areas of the zone, where we go into a cave and we have to kill these guys. At this point in time, I will probably switch out the Void Walker for the Imp, just because I don't want the Void Walker running away from me. I think his swipes turned off, or his his AoE attack, but I just don't want your pets running around too much within a cave. So that being said, we're going to turn these quests in real quick. The other thing about this is that the orcs that are carrying the ore like this, you can run by them and stand beside them. As long as they're holding that ore, they're not going to be a danger. But as soon as they have turned it in and they're walking back, then they're going to be aggressive. So you kind of have to watch out for that. But with that, let's go ahead and turn that in. And I'm going to let this orc run by, just so we don't aggro him. The other thing with this is that the first overseer you kill after you've turned in the quest and accepted the new ones is going to drop a quest on him. So you want to kill the one that is outside first. And we're getting to the point in time where our Chaos Bolt isn't necessarily killing them in one shot. So, like I said, kind of keep that in mind. As you do level, it does get harder and much more difficult in certain situations. So, with that being said, alright, so we have 2 orcs there. I'm going to avoid those guys. And then maybe blow this guy up, since he is going to throw the ore for us. There we go. You want to kill them before they drop their ore. 1, because it makes them less aggressive. But 2, when they drop it, it kind of satisfies the quest item where we have to acquire 10 ore. Only says the 25 hours was played from 1 to 60. The hunter record is 16 hours. Real time from 10 to 60. I got you. Okay, so it doesn't count the first 10 levels in. That makes sense. So we'll grab this, and from my previous experience, you want to enter into this cave from the bottom because you have to deal with 3 overseers up top. And it's just kind of a pain to deal with. And when he throws that thing, it does a pretty significant knockback, and I needed to summon my imp here to give me a hand. Alright, so with that, we'll summon the imp. And like I said, this guy's already dropped off his ore. This is why he's aggressive to us. If we had the Voidwalker out, I think it would have been okay, but the reason I've pulled out the imp at this point is just because I don't want the Voidwalker, since it's a melee pet, running all the way through the cave and aggroing stuff. So we'll grab this, and I want to kill this guy just so he doesn't sneak up behind me. So he says, how many days does the Ironman? How many days does have the Ironman challenge? You said 22, but that's worldwide or US? I guess that's worldwide. It's not that stringent in the sense that, you know, you have to figure out in what time zone does it end. We've kind of taken the approach that if your calendar says September 1st, you can begin it. When it says October 1st, that's when it ends. So it's not too stringent in, you know, having people figure out what time zone it ends at and everything like that. So generally speaking, it's a lighthearted challenge. It's all for fundraisers. So Keithy's also handing out prizes at the end for the person with the lowest level to 60 playtime, as well as the person that has the highest living character at the end of the month, and that hits him for about that much, so that's not bad. So there is that to consider. He's also doing a third prize for, I guess, I don't know if it's most effort given or what the criteria necessarily is, but he did tell me that he is doing a third prize, so that is out there for everyone. Let's see. Gaming says, do you know any elixirs that I can level up fast or no? Gaming, is that in general for the Ironman challenge, or is that just in general? For the Ironman challenge, there's no use of elixirs, potions, or anything like that. For in general, I think you have a couple that you can get off the auction house, but I forget what those are called, to be honest. It says, hello, good morning, Macy. I know there's an EG at the end of that, but good morning, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Alright, so if I get behind chat in the cave, I will try to catch back up, but generally speaking, we want to get in and out of here as quickly as possible. These mobs do hit hard, and they can respawn pretty quick, so with that being said, we're going to see if we can turn in this quest before these guys get a little anxious. Go ahead and drain soul. Game says, in general, yeah, I think there's one you can get off the auction house. I'm not sure where it drops from, and then there's another that drops off a couple mobs on Timeless Isle. But like I said, I forget the names of them. There we go. Get our health back up a little bit at least. And work our way to the quest giver. Or the quest turn in. Alright, did that. Only says, WoW Challenge website scans armory data from Oceanic service, not quite worldwide. Oh, so maybe not. I think there's. I guess I would exclude in Asia, right? That's the only other region I can think that's not included. Magic says, man, I've played way too much yesterday. Did 1 to 39 in one sitting. Did you really? Good grief. Congrats on making it to level 39 though. Alright, so usually the terrain can line of sight you here, so you want to watch out for that as well. I said, did the hurricane affect you? No, not necessarily too much. We're kind of on the outer rim of it right now, so we're not getting too much, you know, with regards to the wind and everything else that comes with it. It is starting to thunderstorm a little bit, but it's not bad by any means. It's actually kind of nice. Alright, so with that, Now we can start killing these guys just because they have the ore we need. So try to hit him from point blank. And we'll turn that in. Or grab his loot, should I say. Alright, so with that, here we go again. Oops. It's not too bad in the cave up until the overseers start to spawn. Then it turns into a little bit of a cluster at that point. So as long as we can kill these guys without any overseers watching us or spawning on top of us, we should be alright. Oh, nice. Let's see. Oops. Let's go ahead and take care of this one then. And we'll avoid them as much as possible. And with that, we should be at about 6, meaning we can make our way toward the exit of the cave here shortly. But yeah, you know, overall, I want to say the... Oops. What I'm afraid when they throw the ore like that is it's going to make me crash through one of the walls and fall through the world. So I'd still, even though it doesn't do hardly any damage, I still try to avoid it just because I don't want it to bug me out. But with that, we'll go ahead and start making our way in this direction. See if we can one-shot this guy. There we go. Try to kill him before he actually gets that off. And drain some health out of him. Just to kind of survive the area just a little bit easier. It says, my pops made it through Irma, no problem, but a tree knocked down the fence. Yeah, when you said, I think it was, what, Cape Canaveral? I figured he would get a little bit of a storm surge, but if he went, it looked like if it went inland, he could have, oops, that's a lot. He could avoid a lot of that hurricane, so glad to hear he's doing well, though. It says, nah, just nothing else to do. Now, Magic, have you tried 7.3 yet, or have you made it out there? We did do a little bit of that this weekend, so for those who haven't given 7.3 or Argus a shot, it's pretty fun. I do recommend it. Need to go ahead and drain his health, get him down. Matthias says, how's standing in the Warlock race? Let's see, let me pull that up real quick. So I think this is the update Keithy provided as of yesterday, maybe around noontime. At this point in time, we're going to make our way out of the cave because we have everything we need. We're just going to pull stuff very systematically here. But there's the standing so far. Maybe as we go through starting tomorrow, I'll go through and maybe highlight the, I don't know, top 10 or whoops, nope, let's not hit that. The top 10 or maybe the top 15 or something like that. Just make it more easily available for those, again, like I said, new to the stream. We'll go over the Warlock race and everything in the next hour. I try to not repeat it too awful much because it is a little bit long-winded, and then if I'm in a situation where I am now, I seem to make it even longer. So what we'll do is we'll wait till the next hour, and then I'll go through it in more detail because I tend to stutter like this toward the end, especially if I'm distracted with what's going on in the cave. But that is where we're standing right now. Only in chat, who is G numbers in Discord, is the one that's level 60, and he's actually made it there twice, so kudos to you there, Only. I ran right by him. These things actually hit pretty hard. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and turn these in. Try to avoid any other any other that have that ability. Alright, so that is level 27. So that's not too bad. Less than an hour and we've leveled 3 times now. Excuse me. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to stand somewhere safe. That way I can catch up with chat. And, oh, there's that. That's why we're going to stand somewhere safe. Just because these guys can hit like trucks sometimes. Let's see. It says, no, my main is 101. Okay, so you're still working on that end then. I got you. And then this is Druid. It says, why human, undead for life? Welcome, this is Druid. I think that's the first time I've seen your name. The reason I'm kind of sticking with the Alliance side is just because this is what I know best. So rather than switching different leveling zones and then different factions, I'd have to, you know, learn each danger for each leveling process. So rather than doing that to myself, I'm going to stick with the human or the Alliance side. That being said, I'll catch up with chat once again. Let me this quest is dangerous just because for 2 reasons. You oops, I wanted to do that. You do lose your pet, and that's the main problem here. Is not only do you lose your pet, but you have mobs that pull up and jump up in here. So for the hunter and the warlock, it's especially dangerous. And I think, alright, so they despawn, and that puts us right about there. So that wasn't too bad. I think that's the fastest we've killed that thing. So that wasn't too bad at all. Alright, so now I can catch up on chat. Magic says my guy is 43 right now. Man, I think that might put you in 2nd place if I remember the numbers correctly. So congrats on that. Robot says, are you able to sort the Ironman race by level? I could, Verbot. The problem is that people literally die every day, so I probably shouldn't laugh. But the thing is, the problem is with that is that I would have to adjust all 37 or all 40 people every morning, and that just kind of sinks a lot of time. So what I may do to compensate for that is just highlight their names or make them a different color, just so it's easier for people to identify them. But to go through and numerically rearrange them is a little bit heavy, and a heavy time sink within GIMP. If there's an automated process to do that, maybe so. But that's kind of why I haven't done it yet. I want to, but like I said, it would be a little bit of a time sink to do that. Vice says, hello Qyune, good morning Vice, how are you? And we are level 27. Dranic says, how hard is it so far, and how has it been going with this character? Just dropping in. So welcome Dranic, I think. Welcome, by the way. It's been a little bit of a learning curve. So what we've previously had is with the hunter, and if we say, let's just compare hunter DPS and warlock DPS over a 5-minute time span, they might be comparable, might be close, but the main difference is when you have your normal day-to-day combat with mobs that are your level. That being, as a hunter, I can apply kill command with, what do you want to call it? Cobra shot. We'll make this on our home. There we go. I can apply a kill command with Cobra shot, and what's going to happen is I'll hit an average mob my level for about 60 to 80% of its health. However, with the warlock, I can apply, especially with affliction, I can apply all 4 dots and have drain soul ongoing, and them not be at 80% yet. So only maybe at the max take out 20% of the health. So the issue with that is with the hunter, I don't get a lot of the fight mechanics. You know, I don't have to endure, say, White Fang, the rare White Fang. We're about to catch up with him here in a second, but I don't have to endure his 7 or 8 second fear as a hunter, just because I apply so much damage so quickly. However, with the warlock, since it ramps up so much, I do have to deal with that. So I don't know if it's necessarily more difficult. It's just adjusting to the class and adjusting to the fight style. So the destruction side of it's been a lot more closer to the hunter side of leveling. I've liked that quite a bit. I am going to pull my Voidwalker back out just because I do prefer the tankiness just a little bit. But if that makes any sense, Drainic says thanks, right pronunciation, very nice. I try. My southern drawl comes in from time to time, but I do try. I do need to grab this mechanized air actually before I forget. So with that, we'll make our way back over here. Now it says, ding, level 47 hours. Wow, that's pretty fast there. I think, yeah. How in the world do you level so fast? At 25, I'm at 6 hours and 40 minutes. So that's insane. I think Eastern Kingdoms, maybe that's a trade-off. Eastern Kingdoms has a lot more condensed leveling, but you just have to watch out for the factions and everything like that. So I think the guys that are leveling in Eastern Plaguelands seem to have a faster timer, generally speaking. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it seems like I'm getting nowhere near. Oh, 12 hours. 7 minutes. Okay, alright. I was about to say, holy hell, man, that's insane. Alright, so that makes sense then. Drainic says, thanks, I get the idea. I want to try it myself sometime soon. Yeah, Drainic, like I said, all of September is the Warlock race, so you're more than welcome to join at any time. Joining now versus joining on the 1st doesn't necessarily provide those who joined on the 1st a leveling advantage, just because at some point, I think everybody who's above level 20 has died at least once, if not twice. So, you know, there's not too much of an advantage or disadvantage in starting right now. In all honesty, or even starting 2 weeks from now. It says, Qyune's one message at a time. I'm trying. I try to keep up with chat as much as possible, but you guys know how that goes. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and, as per normal for this leg of the quest, what we're going to do is I'm going to switch back to the imp, and then I'll pull the Voidwalker out when we start killing the fish, just because I don't want to have to heal or res the Voidwalker every couple of seconds. But the idea right now is to get as many keys as you can and set these Night Elves free. That way you can use their DPS to kill the fish, excuse me, as well as kill the follow-up guy for the next quest. So that being said, let me go ahead and put the keys on my toolbar. What happens for this quest is that there's two kind of controlling parameters for the amount of keys that you get. One, if you get 5 keys, the orcs will stop dropping keys. And then second, if you have 5 Night Elves freed, they'll stop dropping the keys as well. So the trick is to get up to 5, unlock the Night Elves from the little cages, and then if you can do it fast enough, you should be able to get up to about 9, I believe, 9 or 10. But it's just getting up to that number and having them respawn in the cages as quickly as possible. Jody says, I'm level 10 already. Congrats, Jody. Did you start this morning? Are you using BOA? Because that is in... You definitely don't want to use heirlooms if that's... if you're doing the Ironman challenge, by the way. Let's see. Imperial says, what are the rules for the challenge? Imperial, welcome to the stream. So the rules are on your right, and the challengers for this month are on your left. But essentially it's leveling from 1 to 110, only using questing and grinding as the means of leveling, without using any sort of heirloom, green gear, or blue gear. So pretty much just using white or gray gear, and not doing anything that involves grouping with other people, whether that's just directly grouping up with them or doing dungeons or anything like that. It's just a very... Whoa, that guy hits hard. Bare bones leveling kind of a challenge. So we'll go ahead and let her out. Might have been a little too soon to let her out, but it'll be alright. What I am going to also do is try to get up to and keep 5 soul shards at any given time. That way when we decide to kill the fish finally, we'll be able to get 2 chaos bolts off. And so that's why my DPS in this area might be a little bit slower than normal. I'll pull that back down, but those are kind of the rough edges of the rules, Imperial. Now I am way behind chat, so I'll catch up here in a few. Oh, Robert says, I love Affliction. Good morning, Robert. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Yeah, Affliction's really good in the sense that you can, what is it called? Your drain soul. I have drain life as here, but once you're Affliction, it's drain soul. And that was just a very safe kind of leveling. It was a little bit slower. And like you said, you can pull more than one, but for the Ironman challenge, I try not to as much as possible. But yeah, it is a bit of a slower leveling process. That's kind of why I've switched to Destruction, just to see if we can do it. Alright, so we have 3. I'm going to try to do this a little bit, move a little bit quicker. The reason I don't want to use any silver my soul shards now is, alright, so that's good. Just to save those for the fish here in a second. Robert says, good morning, thank you. I'm a leveling freak. Very nice. Like I said, I've always enjoyed the leveling aspect, and the Ironman challenge has just brought so much life to that, just because it changes all the dynamics. You can die at any reason to really anything. It just, your average quest becomes much more trying and difficult, and you know, you kind of have to balance the weight of the risk and whatnot. So it's pretty fun in general. Patrick says, brief me right now. Is Irma over? You're right. What's going on, Patrick? Good morning. Yeah, so for us, we are technically in it at the moment, so it's not bad. At this point for us, it's more or less a major thunderstorm. It's pretty much going to be raining all day, and so it's not that bad at all. Alright, so we have 5 of these guys supporting us. I'm going to go ahead and blow up these guys right here. But yeah, Patrick, thank you for the concern. We're doing good. There's no not too much of an issue at this point. Alright, so at this point in time, we need to kill these guys pretty much as quickly as possible. We don't want our hunters to start despawning. So that, with that being said, there's not much we can do except kill them. Because for one, we don't want to face pull them. But we do want to free these night elves. And this guy, I think we did have one despawn. Yeah, we did. Okay. So we're going to go to the next cage. We have 3 more keys left. So I will catch up with chat in just a second. But we have 3 more keys left. And just trying to make this as quick of a process as possible. We might have 1 key we can't use, but we're going to switch out Sam for Sam. And accept the quest. Kill the fish. Hopefully the fish isn't far enough away where we start losing our stuff. But I am down to only that many soul shards, so that's not good. Alright, so with that, we are right about 40 yards is there. This is a lot closer than I want it to be, but I think we have the damage to blow this guy up. I think we do. He does hit Sam pretty hard. In fact, I'm going to give him a Chaos Bolt now. And hopefully he doesn't stun me. Perfect. Alright, so this guy respawns pretty quick. We want to go ahead and get out of here now. And he did kill Sam, so I'm not sure. I think I'll keep the Void Walker for now. Especially considering that we're going to work our way back up to the rare that killed us the first time. His name is White Fang. No, Whip Fang. There we go. But go ahead and summon Sam back. The problem with him is that if you don't have a pet tanking him or you can't get the damage down quick, he gets off a fear that goes for 7 to 8 seconds. And the first time he killed us because he got the fear off, and it just took him 8 seconds to get our health down. So yeah, it's a little bit tough to counter that. I would be nervous about him if I was melee. I'll put it that way. Since I know the mechanic now, I'm not too worried as a lock unless he. Alright, so let's go ahead and health funnel this guy because he's gonna rush me, and yeah, his first 2 attacks hit me for 60, almost 50% of my health. So he does hit hard. Watch out for him. And we need to free her. Patrick says, "Is it extremely windy outside?" Not yet. I think it'll get there this afternoon, but for the most part, it's pretty pretty tame for the most part. It's been raining, but it's not been windy in the slightest bit. So I think that's coming here pretty soon. But with that, we're going to work our way back up here. It says a perfect WoW day for you. Pretty much. Pretty much stay inside, stay out. I was going to get some yard work done today, but that's just not going to happen. It's pretty much going to rain the entire day, so not a problem at all. Like you said, perfect Warcraft day. It says, yes, the weather outside is perfect for playing WoW. And White Fang. Yes, exactly. For those that don't know, it's Whitfang. His full name is Taskmaster Whitfang. And he's a gnoll that kind of sits exactly where you need to go to complete this quest. So it's not like we're going out of our way to kill it. It's just something that we have to do. So this is just all part of the challenge and comes with the territory. I think the essential part to it though is just knowing that that chance to wipe or chance to die is there. So let me once we get to the top, we'll resummon Sam. Actually, we'll pull the imp out for the first couple pulls, maybe. I might be I don't see him. He sits underneath that tent, so alright, so we'll accept that. I don't see him, so maybe we're alright. The worst case scenario would be for him to spawn on top of us, but I think we ought to be alright. Like I said, yeah, this is going to be a little bit slower process. Sam's almost at 20% health. That's typically why I don't really care for the Voidwalker, especially in those early levels, is that they just die so fast. Oh, that's not useful. Let's see if we can get him from here. No, a little out of range. Yeah, so I'll let Sam fight him under there. He says I'm not rare farming, I swear. Exactly. I feel like I have to say that now. That's funny. Alright, so is he up? I don't think he is. I think... wait. Yeah, I thought I saw feet. Okay. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and blow this guy up. The bad thing that can happen with the Voidwalker is, like I said, he'd... oops. Let's take care of that. There we go. Alright, so Sam's at that much health. Alright, so the rough part with this situation is that this guy patrols all the way up through here, and having a second mob to deal with is going to be very tough. So we're just going to let him patrol his way back. The bad side of that is this area can respawn fast, so we'll watch out for that as well. He might come up here where that would work out perfect. We'll just not have to deal with a patrol at this point. It's not in line of sight. So we'll go ahead and just drain soul, and that's not going to give us any Problem is that Sam gets so low health that we have to resummon him and burn up one of the 4 soul shards. But what I'm going to do is see if I can hit him from here with a chaos bolt. I want to be able to hit him without him targeting me first. Oh, that worked. Nice. Oh, wow. Alright, so let's go ahead and drain health. Alright, there we go. That's done. And let's go ahead and keep going. So that's 3 of the, I think 3 main dangers. We might have a couple more that are still risky, but those are the roughest quests in the zones by far, so that's not bad. Ogre says, good morning, Q. Good morning, Orgrim. How are you doing? Welcome back to the stream, by the way. These things hit so hard. Our Sam's just so weak. Oh, credit. Thank you for the subscription and good morning. How are you doing? Let's go ahead and dot this guy up. And yeah, pretty much we made it. The Chaos Bolt is super powerful. It's starting to get to a point where it's not one-shotting mobs, but it's definitely better than Affliction at the moment, especially for fights like that. This guy's, I don't know if he's bugging out or not. He might be. No, he looks alright. Patrick says, Chaos Bolt. Yeah, pretty much. The thing took down probably a good 70% of his health, so that was nice. Alright, so with that, let's see if we can utilize Chaos Bolt one more time. Bad thing is that the line of sight issue is a little rough, so trying to stand on the ledge without falling over. Now we're just gonna have to face ball him. There we go. So we'll get up close to him and then get that 3-second cast off. And Sam's probably going to take a hit here. As long as there's nothing that pops beneath our feet like that, we should be alright. There we go. So that's done. Let's turn that in. We'll grab the bomb here. And I think we can hearth back. Yeah. So that's it for this area. And Moody says, Qyune, do you pay for your WoW with in-game gold? I do. I think I'm paid off until early next year, to be honest. So as much as possible, I just try to use in-game gold to pay off the game more than a real-life currency. So we'll go ahead and talk to her in a second, but we'll go ahead and turn these 2 quests in. But yeah, no, I think I've been playing Warcraft, quote unquote, you know, essentially for free since the WoW token has come out. I did luck out and buy them. Oh, nice. Level 28. I did buy them when they first came out, so I think I got most of mine for like 25k gold. So that was, I figured they were going to do nothing but go up in price, so that's why I did that, and fortunately I was right. Seems like with each expansion the acquisition of gold is a lot easier, so that was my line of thought behind that process. So outside of, like, you know, different times of the month, or maybe I think I'll use Voidwalker again here. And maybe when, you know, a new expansion or a new patch or new game comes out, the WoW token is pretty much just going to consistently go up in price. So I just prefer to buy them as they become available. And then Harja says, what's up? What's going on, Harja? I did see your videos the other day. Congrats on all the levels. Says I'm not going to be here very long because of school reasons. That's all good. Thank you for stopping by the way. Rasta says, can you choose a spec? Brasado. There we go. Brasado. Yes, sir. You can, at level 10, you're forced to have a spec. And, you know, you can choose. Oh, good. The rare's up. You can switch from, if you're, especially helpful if you're melee, you can switch from prot to you know, DPS. And alright, I don't know why it does that. So it looks like OBS disconnected, so let's wait for that too. Let me go ahead and type that in the chat there. 3 seconds. There is lag on your end. Refresh. I'll refresh the screen. So my OBS disconnected for 3 seconds, so if for those who are lagging, my OBS just disconnected for 3 seconds, but we're still good to go. It's just I don't know why it does that every morning. So we'll see how that looks. I hate it when it does that because it does kind of end the stream, but as of now we're still going. So we'll give everybody a chance to catch back up here. And in the meantime, we'll keep running. He says, "Rip Qyune." And Moody says, "Uh-oh" as well. "You will be missed." Nope, we're still good. We're just, my OBS bugged out for a second. So if you guys are seeing this, let me know. Moody says, "There we go." Very nice. Okay, so it looks like we're back. Yeah, I don't know why OBS does that. I think I was watching Qyune. I don't know if you guys know who she is. She streams in the afternoons. I think she streams Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. A very good streamer. Very do recommend checking her channel out. But I think she's been struggling with OBS as well recently. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind it, but it does happen. Michael says, "I am seeing this." Okay, good. So Michael, Moody, Harja, looks like everybody's back. In my opinion, Affliction Warlock is the best class when you hit level 22. Is it? Why is that, Harja? What do you get at 22? It says, "I'll look after Sam. He has good hands." Alright, H. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and knock this guy out as well. For this area of the map, we did lose quite a few people, so that's unfortunate. But for this area of the map, we want to go in a counterclockwise direction because the named mob goes in a clockwise direction, and it just makes it such that she can't sneak up on you because she does hit hard, and you don't want that giant spider sneaking up on you. We're going to resummon Sam just to get ready for her. I think I see her in the background over there. There we go. And Alex says, "Harja, thanks." And Robert says, "Probably with all gear and talents in mind." Alright, so with that, let's see. Let's go ahead and we should have used a Chaos Bolt first. Amateur Hour. There we go. 800 crit. Those are nice. Yeah, she's single-handedly almost killing the Void Walker here, so we'll probably have to kill her again just because she does respawn pretty quickly. A lot of your named mobs in Azeroth as well as your older zones respawn pretty quick, so you do want to watch out for that. Robert says, "Level 2, very nice, Robert." What's the name of your character? Or did you go to Discord, or you're just leveling at the moment? If you want us to keep track of you, we can. That's how we are. That's why we ask people if they want to be a part of the race. If you don't have Discord, you can let me know the name of your character and realm, and I'll keep track of it. But generally speaking, most of everyone is in Discord, so it just makes it that much easier to kind of keep track of it. Alright, so with that, Harja says, "You can heal your pet with 12% of your health, giving it 24%, and you can just drain soul to get your health back." I gotcha. Alright, so the chest is up this time, so that's nice. When it comes to chests in general, you want to get to them as quickly as possible, and whatever it takes to get to them, you want to do that, because that gave us 5,000 experience, which is about the equivalent of a quest. Plus, it gave us a blue BOE, so There's multiple reasons to get to that chest whenever you do see it. They're pretty hard to come by too. Alright, it says the Void Walker is a tank, so you don't pull aggro. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I think I'm gonna wait till I'm about 40 to do demonology. I know you were talking about affliction, but I'm kind of curious to see how the Felguard will do. So we might have to kill this thing more than twice, to be honest. Actually, let's go ahead and get a Chaos Bolt off first. Man, it has a lot of health. 1600 health. The bad thing about it is, like, every time we have to fight it, almost have to resummon Sam. So with that, blow him up. We're done in this area. The only thing we're doing is knocking out the rare in the back. Which, to be honest, we might just forego that. Nah, we're here. We'll do it. We'll give AH a heart attack. He says Qyune's hunting chest now. Pretty much. I'm hunting a rare. We're gonna hunt this rare AH. Robert says, I thought I would start some. Warlock, Dark they're on. I'll check out the Discord. Alright, Robert, appreciate that. I'll let me write that down just so I don't forget myself. So we'll get somewhere safe real quick, and I will write that down because there's no way I'll remember that. Making sure a spider doesn't sneak up on me like that named mob or Harper. And then Warlock, nice. Which is Drake Theron. Or is it Drac Theron? Okay, got it. And he joined Discord. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks, sir. Welcome to the Warlock Ironman race. Are you going Alliance side or Horde side? Alright, so here comes the named mob once again. Maybe she'll leave us alone. Maybe if we kind of hug this wall a little bit. Yeah, we're good. She's laughing. Yep, I know. Can't help it. Old habits die hard. Alright, so with that, I think we're gonna run under a spider and it'll probably drop on top of us, but let's go ahead and knock this out as quickly as we can. And yes, one did drop behind us. Our says currently 22. I'm on Tolador on Discord. If you didn't know, I don't know if I did, so I'll write that down as well. Actually, welcome to like I said, welcome as well to the Ironman challenge, the race. Tech fan says race. What? All right, so one sec, I'll pull that up. Welcome, Tech fan. What I'm gonna do is summon Sam real quick. As soon as I kill this rare and get out of here, I'll put up. Well, I'll do it now. We'll just talk about it as we're doing it. So there's the rare. Go ahead and blow him up. But yeah. So for the month of September, Tech fan, we are doing a race from 1 to 110. It's or as high as we can get, pretty much. To see who can have the lowest played to 60 time, as well as who has the highest living character at the end of the month. We're doing this for a charity called Friends for Impact, and they do research on brain tumors that occur in children. So just for the month of September, we're doing this. Once September ends, I'll switch back to the hunter, and we'll keep trying it that way. But yeah, this is just something to have a small little community event, and as you can see, it looks like we have, probably by the end of today, we're going to have well over 40. It wouldn't surprise me if we have over 50 by the end of the month. So that being said, you don't have to stream to be a part of the race, but you know, you can do it on your own, and we'll keep up just the same. It's not a big deal at all. But yeah, just doing it for the sake of charity and building up the Ironman community just a little bit. So that's what it's all about, just lighthearted fun. It's going from September 1st to September 30th, and I think we want to go this direction, right? Yes. We'll go ahead and throw the gnome item up here. One of my least favorite quests in the zone, but we'll go ahead and pop this down. But if you need to see the rules or that again, let me know. I don't have a problem throwing that back up. Bot says, hi Qyune, my tune's name is Loom the Scars. Furbot, you said you're in the, that's your Warlock, right? Just so I'm 100% sure. Alright, so we do have our Hellstone just in case we pull more than we want. There is also a rare over here. We'll get to him probably first, just because kind of put those, have those in a higher priority, I suppose. So it looks like we'll use a Chaos Bolt first. Nope, I have to get a little bit closer. But yeah, Tech Fan, if that doesn't make sense, let me know. I could chain burn. Hope that doesn't hit hard. No, we're good. Alright, so with that, we'll grab the loot, but we're gonna enter into this area. Oh, that did work. Okay. We're gonna enter into this area back at the beginning, just so we don't have mobs coming up from behind us as well as in front of us. It's just we wanted to get there and kill that rare as quickly as possible. So we'll do that. And we'll grab that as well. Mini potato. Nice. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the subscription. Good morning, by the way. So it says, yep, demonology for the challenge. Alright. Since I'm not in a danger zone yet, let me write that down as well. I'll, just in case Keithy misses it. And that way I can kind of keep track of you. So for... But like I said, the Ironman challenge, or the race this month, is an open invitation to anyone. You guys are more than welcome to join. You don't have to stream or anything like that. Holy Paladin, thank you for the subscription and good morning. And the realm is the Scryers. I think I've played on the Scryers once before. I think I did. But yeah, welcome to the Ironman challenge as well. And then Jennifer says, any rarity shirt bags are tabard, right? Oh yeah, so that's a good point. As far as the rules go, of course, you know, you want to have it, as far as your weapons and armor, you can only have gear that is white or lower quality. However, for your bags, you can have any quality item you want. Your bags, your tabard, and your shirt. Whoops, it's not dot. We don't want to kill him just yet. Go ahead. The reason I don't care for this quest too much is just because it's very slow going. The gnome apparatus has a pretty low success rate. It's been better in the past, but I've had it be as low as maybe 1 in 4, 1 in 5 attempts are actually work. So that's kind of my opinion of the quest in general. King Tim says, what's up guys? Good morning, King Tim. How are you? We completely missed that guy. How's your morning going? We are level 28 at the moment. About 60% of the way in. And let's see if we can throw this item here. Part of me wants to throw this item up here and see who it helps and who it doesn't, but I don't want to. I'm afraid that these guys would have a cast that would kill me, so in an effort to stay alive, I guess we won't throw it up there, but it would be a good opportunity just to speed up the quest, but that might be considered suicide. So we'll avoid that guy for now. We'll grab this little item. And I think we'll see if we can tag this one. So what? Yeah, we haven't even received our first spirit bond yet. He says, can't stay long, have to work. Alright, King. Appreciate you stopping by, though. Good morning, once again. Throw that there. Man. Yeah, I do not like this quest. Mini Potato says, hi. Good morning, Mini Potato. How are you doing? Like I said, we are level 28 at the moment. Doing fairly well for this morning. Kind of curious to see what my playtime to be level 30 is. I just have to remember to do that. It's going to be pretty low if we keep doing this quest too much longer. Holy Paladin says, what's your favorite WoW expansion? I would say it's Legion, to be honest. Before that, maybe Mist of Pandaria, but with everything that's happening and going on within Legion, very much my favorite expansion so far. Alright, so we'll pull Sam back out here. So I'm going to try to throw this thing at max range, just in case we can avoid pulling both of those at the same time. Alright, well, that didn't work, so we'll blow one up. And then we'll drain soul with the other one. There we go. We'll drain life. There we go. And Tootie says, morning. Good morning, Tootie. How are you doing? Only found about this challenge this week. So sad I couldn't do it. For sure for sure next year. But if you want, Tootie, you can join at any time during this month. It is an open invitation. You don't have to stream. We did start on the 1st, but everyone has died at some point or another, so there's no really bad time to join. Maybe the last week or half a week would put people at a disadvantage, but if you want to join now, you're more than welcome to, Tootie. Alright, we got our first one there. And we'll see if we can grab this guy. So like I said, I think that's the first one in who knows how many casts. 6, 7, maybe 8. Emily says, I love Cataclysm. Did you really? I know a lot of people didn't care for Cataclysm because of the difficulty of the heroics. They did tune those up quite a bit. Not quite as hard as Burning Crusade, but much more difficult than previous. Let's see. And then 8 says, if you should still join. Yep, like I said, you're more than welcome to do so. Let me pay attention to what I'm doing here. Alright, nice. We have 3 of 5. So we're getting there. And blow him up. There we go. We're at 80% health. I did see, yeah, there he is. Hey, that's rough. We'll try to drain health a little bit, and I'll catch up with chat. I said, Marion says, we don't have a president in Norway. We might get a new prime minister. Really? I have no idea what's going on in Norway, so that's interesting. Is that good for you, Marianne, or kind of indifferent? Hardy says, Wrath of the Lich King was my favorite. I noticed that a lot of people left during Wrath of the Lich King, or toward the end of it, so I don't know what all the reason is for that. Maybe they didn't enjoy Cataclysm as much, but I have noticed a lot of people in chat especially have ducked out during Wrath of the Lich King. Well, alright. Tab target's a little buggy sometimes, but not the worst. It could be a lot worse, but it's not too bad at the moment. He says, I would for sure if I was home. My dad's computer is old, so getting me to play Warcraft from New York and currently in Louisiana. Oh wow. So, yep, that's understandable too. Not a problem. If anything changes for you though, there's no real restriction as far as when to join, so that's 100% up to you. But thank you for stopping by the channel and joining us in chat, by the way. Grab this. We need how many more of these? This is the last one. We're going to see if we can grab this guy real quick. Yeah, we still need 2 more of these spirits to do their thing. This sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Especially going from New York to Louisiana. That's rough. Hardy says Lich King was the most badass villain and we get to kill him. Oops, let's kill this guy real quick. Yeah, Deathwing wasn't too bad. He seemed to, I guess, unless you follow the lore, he did seem to come out of nowhere, but let me go ahead and trap him real quick. I think they had a really good idea in using that expansion to revamp the old world. I'm kind of hoping they take that template and do that with a future expansion, and maybe apply the dynamic zone leveling to the zones as they do in Legion. You know, as maybe have it scale up per patch. I know they wouldn't want to have. Let's go ahead and take care of that guy. I know they wouldn't want to have, say, people leveling up to 110 in Darkshore, but so maybe the alternative around that would be to have like the old world scale up to level 60, then have the all the zones in Outland scale up to 70, and just kind of keep that template. But it would be interesting if they could go back and include that technology in a lot of the old content. This is... I'm starting to hate this quest, to be honest. Try not to be too negative, but I'm pretty sure we've done close to 20 of these guys and we've only gotten 3. I'll grab this one. The other problem is that toward the end we're going to get respawns, so there's 4. So we might run through the lake just to get out of here more quickly. And not surprised. We'll take care of him. Hey, it says I like the level 80 and standing around and down around waiting. What is that in reference to? Level 80. What is that in reference to, H? I think I might have missed the line there. Well, Marion says, we have our election today, so a lot of politics. There we go. Last one. We're done. So we'll... Let me resummon Sam just in case we come across a bad situation. And then run across the lake here. For those who are new, you can use any mount. That includes the heirloom mount as well. So us using Water Strider or the vendor mount's not a bad thing at all. But Marion says, we have our election day, a lot of politics here these days, though not in comparison to the US every 4th year. That is very true. We get almost too much, to be honest. My Hearthstone has 5 minutes, but I think we'll just run it back. We'll use the Hearthstone in another situation, if necessary. So he says, you're my hero. You can read chat, give history lesson directions, and kill undead all at once. I tried to. This comes with about 2.5 months worth of practice so far, so hopefully I can kind of hold a thought a little bit better than I did the first time around. We need to take this path over here, and but yeah, it is difficult from time to time, especially when you're talking about something, say for example the whole Warlock race. Trying to hold that thought as well as figure out what I need to do next does take some level of balance. But Harja says Deathwing Raid was cool, but of course Thrall was the one who killed him. Yeah, I think that was about the time people were starting to get tired of Thrall. And then you had Mists of Pandaria, which was followed by Warlords of Draenor, so I think they kind of given him a back seat for right now. Plus, I think Thrall has a child now, I believe. So maybe if Warcraft lasts long enough, we'll have Anduin and whatever Thrall's child's called is 2 different kings. It says, oh no, H says Qyune, Wrath of the King was my favorite. Was it really? Oh, so that's what you're saying, where you were level 80. It wasn't bad. For me, Wrath of the Lich King was pretty fun. I just got tired of the jousting. I did get tired of that a little bit. I was level 29. Very nice. So we're getting there. Not bad at all. Alright, so with that, we'll turn in this quest in here. And I think at this point in time is when we get to use the machine to kill all the little gnomes and the... not the gnomes, but the goblins. In the open over there. Excuse me. Alright, so with that, we will turn this in real quick. and off we go. And Amanda says, are you really? Thank you, Amanda. Ah, that's a rough name. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. And Spencer says, hey, it's Crackspud. Welcome, Crackspud. How are you doing? I'll try to remember that. Spencer is equivalent to Crackbud, or Crackspud. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Good morning, Spencer. Thank you for the subscription as well. How's the Ironman challenge going for you? Because I know you were. Did you get up to level 30? I thought you did, but I wasn't 100% sure now. Now that I'm saying it. Blow these guys up. It really doesn't matter which flame you use, I believe. I think it's just kind of, unless of course it bugs out. There we go. Just kind of whatever color you prefer. We'll blow that guy up. We don't necessarily have to kill him, but since we've already kind of put damage on him, I don't want him to chase me down and kill me in the near future, so take care of him as well as him, and we are not done with the quest. We need these two gnomes. There we go. Alright, with that, we are off. And then Amanda says, how long have you tried to get to 100? We're actually trying to get to 110, says I see you live every day. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We're trying to get to 110, and I've only made it up to 85 so far. So, we'll get there. It seems like there's a new way to die every single time. I've almost died twice in the same crypt, and that's pretty much the closest I've come to nearly dying to the same thing. But 85 is my max at the moment. Hopefully with the Warlock we'll get there sooner than later. I'm going to also sell some stuff out of my bags. Like I said, I did have some stuff sell over the weekend, so with that being said, let me vendor some stuff. In the meantime, we'll put the rules up just because this is a little bit mundane. Spencer says slow. Very nice. Slow is kind of good though. The race is counterintuitive. You know, going quickly is a little bit counterintuitive to a certain extent, just because the faster you go, the higher your risk is of dying, generally speaking. So there's nothing wrong with slow at all. That's kind of why I tell people that to level up or to join later into the race than earlier, there's really no major disadvantage. So let's go ahead and sell all this stuff here. We did get a cloth. Is that an upgrade? Yes, because we don't even have a belt. Nice. The pants are an upgrade as well, so we'll save those. The gun is not usable. That's soulbound, soulbound. Bind on equip. And let's see. Oops. Those were shoes. Were those shoes an upgrade? Yes, they were. So we'll keep those actually. When I say upgrade, at this point in time for the Ironman challenge, we're just splitting hairs between 1 and 2 armor upgrades for the Warlock. I'm just mostly doing it for the sake of having something different to look at, but generally speaking, there's no real... we could do this without any sort of gear and it'd be the same difference. But just for the sake of having different stuff to wear, that's why we're kind of getting the most efficient armor as possible. Alright, so with that done, we'll put that up. And there we go. M says, good morning, M. How are you doing? And 85 says, or sorry, Amanda says, 85, that's pretty impressive. I died at level 17 in Red Ridge to those elite wolves, and I haven't been back since. You know, I think I saw someone else streaming one time, and they almost died to the wolves as well, but they had a paladin and a bubble hearth, which is something I didn't know you could do until I saw that. And I guess that's new for Legion. But yeah, those wolves are dangerous. Some people can do it, some don't. So it's kind of like that. But Gustuvo. I think I'm saying that right. Good morning once again. How are you doing? All right, at this point we are heading north, and probably have to reset our Hearthstone here pretty soon. I don't think we can at this point, but for this portion of the map, you want to be careful of running into the horde camp. I've almost done it once, and I think if you take this path right here, you can accidentally run in. So there is kind of a guard there at the opening. If you do aggro him, even if you're able to kill him, he will flag you for PvP, and so you'll have to deal with that for like 5 minutes, that debuff. So you just want to avoid the opposite factions as much as possible. With this one, alright, so with this area, we're going to run right about here, and then turn around and turn in these quests, just because it's AH's favorite thing for me to do is go kill a rare. So we're going to go do that real quick. Duty says, not slow, just hold. I beat some 14-year-old in PvP. Ah, nice. Spencer says, true. Had to restart, long story, but back at level 6. Congrats on restarting. I know sometimes, honestly, I think the more difficult thing in the Ironman challenge is trying to start it again. Some people, I think there's been some people that have burned out a little bit, so hopefully, you know, as time wears on, they'll kind of hop back on and get back in it. But it does take the wind out of your sails when you do die, so just kind of anticipate that feeling. It's a little rough, but it's not too bad. Like I said, this is my 8th attempt in general. My 5th attempt is still alive, but this is my 8th attempt. Fine, great. Thank you for the subscription. Good morning. How are you? And I think Gary... Yep, Gary said good morning. Good morning, Gary. How you doing? We're not doing bad, to be honest. We started at 24, where we are level 29 at the moment, and probably halfway through it. So, not bad at all. Alright, so with that, we got some gloves. We'll go turn in these quests. H says, laughing at me. Let's see, Goblin Life says, what's the most fun class for you? For me, Goblin, I still enjoy my DK. I started him toward the end of Cataclysm, and still enjoy him quite a bit. I've been fortunate in the sense that they did buff the obliteration variation of the Frostback, so he's been a lot more fun recently. Out in the world, I'm kind of maintaining 900k DPS, so I don't know what that's going to translate to in a raid environment, but it's been a lot of fun so far. He's blasting through stuff pretty effectively. So we'll grab that fight path, and this next portion of the quest is kind of tedious because each one of these, I think it's the oil rig, the little overseer for the oil rig, summons down a robot to help him every time, so it's a little bit, there we go, the controllers. A little bit tedious in that sense, but we might be able to one-shot them with, yeah, that thing. That's nice. And Sean says, hey Qyune, good morning Sean, how are you? We're doing pretty well. Like I said, we started at 24, made it up to 29. Probably about 60% of the way in now, so doing real well. I do want to put the quest item up here, and did we get shoulders? Oh, we did. We got our first pair of shoulders, guys. There we go. What does that look like? They're kind of small, but they're there. Alright, so with that, we'll dot this guy up. Hopefully Sam doesn't aggro him, otherwise I'm going to have to use Chaos Bolt earlier than I expected. With that, we use it now. And we'll resummon Sam in the meantime, just because he has about 40% health. And I think... Did we not get a controller? Oh, we did. Okay. Maybe you can only have one controller at a time. I'm not sure. We didn't get a controller from that last one we killed, so... Not exactly sure why that happened. Haza says, howdy Moon. Good morning, Haza. How are you? Welcome back. We're doing pretty well. I'm going to be very curious to see what my playtime is at 30, so if I forget, let me know. But we're doing pretty well overall. And let's see. Go ahead and dot this up. And Jared says, did your home make it through the hurricane? Alright. Yeah, we are actually in it right now. So it's kind of been it's weakened quite a bit. We're getting the after effects of it right now, but yeah, it's not been bad at all. It's pretty much going to be a thunderstorm throughout the day. It might get worse toward the afternoon for us, but yeah, it's not bad by any means. So I appreciate the concern, guys. Thank you for that. But me and the girlfriend, we're doing pretty well over here. She is in Argus at the moment, right? Where you at? Oh, leveling the mage. Or working on the mage. Alright, so let's go ahead and blow this guy up real quick. Yeah, that Chaos Bolt is probably the most fun I've had with the Warlock. Alright, so that, we'll blow that up. I still run away from it. I think when it blows up it won't do anything, but just to be safe, more safe than sorry, I do run away from it every single time. Now it says level 41, 13 hours. Very nice now. So, if I think I remember your earlier numbers, that was 20 minutes to get from 40 to 41. That's kind of quick. Man. And you're in Eastern or Western Plaguelands now? So with that, we will blow this up. Let's see. As he says, I'm doing great. Very nice. Hey, it says can actually get kind of tense and stressful with the regular level severely lax. Which the I see what you're saying. Yes, that's the fun thing about the Ironman challenge. So I do recommend this for anyone. The skill set I believe is you don't have to worry about being a mythic raider to be able to do something like this. It's a different type of skill set. I think the Ironman challenge is a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, just to be able to play your class, but a lot part more of just knowing where your dangerous parts are for each of the quests. But so it's not difficult in the sense that the same way high-end mythics or mythic rating's difficult. It's definitely doable by anyone, but it's just acquiring that experience as you level, I guess, and as you die. Like I said, some of the most difficult part of the Ironman sometimes is just leveling again, especially in the same zone. I think a lot of people tend to switch classes, switch factions. Sometimes that can be at a pretty severe disadvantage, especially if you switch factions, because, say for example, if we died, the first time we died as a Warlock at level 27 due to the rare in Stone Talon Mountains, but oops, Sam's dying over here. But you know, if we had at that point switched factions, I don't know anything about the Horde side and the dangers of, you know, leveling over there. So there's a good chance I could have died, say at level, I don't know, 15. Oh, I should have used the what do you call it? I should have used the Chaos Bolt on this guy. But you know, I would have died at, rather than having that knowledge from dying at level 27, all that leveling time and experience wouldn't do me any good just because I'm not using it, because I've gone over to the opposite faction. So that's kind of why I stay on the Alliance and stay in the same leveling sequence. It's a little bit more taxing on the nerves because you know, it's the same content every single time. But the trade-off is that, you know, you're still applying the previous time that you've invested on your character. So Spencer says, are we allowed professions? No sir, the only one you can have is first aid. So the professions, even if it's secondary, like you can't even have cooking or archaeology or whatever the other one is. So you just, oops. All right, we'll use Chaos Bolt on this guy. I think it one-shots him. Almost. There we go. So we'll turn in this quest real quick and then knock out everything on that tower, hopefully. So that is done there. Turn that in. And the H says only first aid, and thank the Lord. So close to picking up herbs. Yeah, that's pretty much the main reason for these days. Previously, your other professions had some sort of daily tied into them, so you could pretty much level your character without ever having to leave a city. as long as you had the goods or the you know, the items that you needed. Excuse me. But can we hit this guy? Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the reasoning behind that, is that the Warcraft, the Ironman challenge is just a challenge to level through either grinding or questing. So I'm kind of glad they make it that way. Yeah, and the same with no fishing as well. And it says that might show up in the stats. And Shadowstorm says, "Morning, Qyune." Good morning, Shadowstorm. How are you doing? Oh, that guy got summoned anyway. So this area can be a little rough. I think we have a patrol that comes this way. Maybe we can hit this guy from here. Alright, how about here? That's the bad thing about this sometimes, is that it's a little difficult to hit these guys due to the ground. Alright, so we have 3 mobs. Let's go ahead and clear that one out first. And we'll worry about this one next. And we'll blow up this one with a Chaos Bolt. There we go. Not a problem, and we'll summon Sam. And off we go again. So the disadvantage at this time, I think we're slowly accruing the... I wonder if I can... No, I can't. Okay. Trying to get a Chaos Bolt off this guy before he sees me. Alright, perfect. Let's see. He says, "I'm making a crescent breakfast sandwich." Very nice. Might be doing a breakfast here sooner or later. But that's knocked out. So at this point, we'll hit this guy from way over here. I think there's a mob right there, but we should be alright. There we go. Go ahead and knock him out. We still have to go over there just to be able to pick up the book. But let's see. Jennifer says, "Can someone answer my previous question?" Did someone answer that already? Let me see if I can go back. Jennifer says, "The quest in Dark Shore that requires the blessing of a greater animal. Should I abandon its effect as allowed you to be friendly with the animal corresponding?" Typically, I tend to avoid this quest. Only might have more experience with that, but most of the time I try to avoid quests that give you a buff. That being said, there's 3 quests that give you buffs in Desolus, and I just clicked them off, so it could be alright. But I just don't want to definitely say yes or no and then turn around and that flag your account. So only might know for sure, but I would think if it's especially kind of gating access to other quests, I would think it's okay. But now, is it an elixir, or do they kind of directly apply it to you? Because if it's an elixir, I'd definitely stay away from those. But if it's directly applied through maybe the quest mob, I don't worry about it too awful much. All right, so with that, we'll run across the lake. That way we can move out of here as quickly as possible. Let's see. Chewy Bear says, "I did it, Jennifer, and it didn't flag me." So okay, good. There you go. Looks like Chewy knocked it out. Thank you, Chewy. It says, Are you going Cookie Crisp today, Qyune?" What does that mean? What is that a reference to? It says, "Shouldn't you incinerate before immolate when pulling mobs?" Should I incinerate? Draws fire. I have no idea. I'm rather new to the Warlock, so if I should, I'll switch it, but I have no idea of magic. Shouldn't use when pulling by the time incinerate reaches the target. Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe so. I'll give it a shot. The reason I had done the immolate first is because, oops, oh, I got it interrupted. Oops. It's because there's a dot associated with it, so I just figured the longer the dot, the better. But I have no idea. We'll switch it out and see if it works. I'm not against change whatsoever. Alright, so with that, we're done. Then Paradox Kid says, "Just got home from work, 7 a.m. Now I'm gonna relax and watch some gameplay." Well, thank you, Paradox. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate that. How was work for you? Alright, so we have to remember not to immediately grab this next quest just because it doesn't give you the option. Oh, level 30. So we'll do a playtime real quick. So at level 30, we're looking at 8 hours and 33 minutes. So not terrible, but I don't think we're going to make the times everyone else has kind of been making. But it's not terrible. I'm alright with that. So we'll complete that quest. If there's no other follow-up, then yes, we'll go ahead and head over to that area. So there we go. And we'll put this up in the meantime. For those that are new to the channel, Ironman rules are on your right while we're flying. The Warlock challengers for this month are on your left. You're more than welcome to join at any time. All the details are in the description. Jennifer says you have to breathe in an instance. Okay, yeah, you should be fine, Jennifer. And like I said, I think Qyune's done it, so you should be alright. And Nikki says 965 subs. Oh, you're right. Very nice. Well, thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. It says, I remember watching this with 2 subs. Yeah, it's grown quite fast. So thank you guys for being a part of that. I think my first week I was doing the stream. I want to say my first week I was doing a stream, I think I had 4 or 5. It was less than 10 people I'd seen the entire week. But it's definitely grown since then. So thank you guys for being a part of that so far. Alright, with that, we're going to put that up here and take off. As per normal, what we're going to do is fly to where this rare spawn is, as well as fly to this one next. When the bomb comes through and blows up this tree, this rare is not going to be accessible anymore, and then this one just has a long respawn timer. So let's just see if the rare is actually up, which it is, so that works out. So we'll jump off this real quick, and let's see if we can get a chaos bolt on it first. Oh, that was nice. So another thing to kind of watch out for is here recently, only as well as Nail, I think it's Nail, they've while they've been flying, I think from fight path to fight path, they've been disconnecting. So I do recommend getting the goblin gliders as quickly as possible. I would almost prioritize those over your bags at this point, just because it's kind of odd that there's been 2 deaths due to that. But alright, we'll jump off here. But yeah, I would grab the goblin gliders as quickly as possible. Usually they sell from anywhere from 8 to 10 gold a piece. I bought 60 just to make sure I have those available. And there's our second rare, so we'll knock him out. AH, we're still not farming rares, just saying that, just throwing that out there. We have 2300 health out of that. Alright, so with that, we are done with that, and it's just a matter of picking up 5 survivors and knocking that out. Let's see. Catch back up with chat as much as possible. Let's see. A says, oh, it's just, oh, Cookie Crisp. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. There's a cereal. Yep. I've actually had those. They're okay. They're a little sugary. Alright, so we'll pick up this guy. I think it's this button. Yeah. I've never been shot at this guy, so I don't think it can happen, but I try not to get too close, just in case. Let's see. Tootie says, what? You can die? If that's a reference to the Ironman challenge, Tootie, absolutely. Alright. You cannot die. There we go. No, you're right, Tootie. You cannot die. There's that's the #1 rule for the Ironman challenge. Second one being that you can't have any gear above white quality. So, no, you cannot die. Now for the 10-man challenge, I believe you can die, but I don't know if there's like a set number of deaths. So, I have no idea. I haven't tried to do that one yet. Let's see. Let me catch back up as much as possible. Say, Kagan, Carjin, if I'm reading that right. It says, wait, how do you buy gliders at that price if you're truly starting from scratch with the Ironman? Kerrigan, you can use the auction house. So that's kind of why the main reason that I kill these rares is that in killing the rares, you get a BOE item, and then you take that BOE and you throw them on the auction house. So that is the allowance for the Ironman channels, is that you can use the auction house at any time. It's more or less a gentleman's honor, or a gentleman's promise, scout's honor, whatever you want to call it, to not have a friend abuse it. So that's kind of their stance. Just because if they say that you couldn't use it, the problem would be that it would only punish people that would obey the rules, because there's no real way to kind of confirm whether or not someone's used the auction house or not. So it's just one of those things that there's no way to track, so they've allowed it, if that makes any sense. Neil says, hey Q, good morning Neil, how are you? How are you doing? And then Tootie says, what happened? So Tootie, if you die, or I'll say it this way, you have to start over. Now if you die, you have to start over. And also, you know, if you have there was a level 49 about 3 months ago now. He was in Searing Gorge and he had just got a green helm. He accidentally equipped it because he was moving stuff in his bag. And at level 49, despite him not dying, despite him not killing anything with that green on, it still flags his account. So putting a green on, even for a second, will be the equivalent of dying. So you gotta be careful for that as well. That's typically why I try not to open my bags unless I'm at a vendor. That way, if I accidentally misclick anything, I'm either holding the item or I am selling it. So it's just one of those things that you want to be careful of as much as possible. Spencer says, how freaking cool it is bros these days. It's been a little while. I think, when's the last time I leveled Undead? It's been a little while, but I do enjoy the Undead leveling process. There's a lot of rares over there as well. So, alright, so we can jump off this guy now and turn it in real quick. And I think at this point we have to jump into a glaive and kill a bunch of stuff. Oh no, we're gonna watch this bomb drop over here. Robert says, for the elixir question earlier, please note quests that require elixir's use only allow for one use of the elixir per quest. Extra uses of the elixir will red flag you. So yes, just be careful of those elixirs. Those are a one-shot mess up. Tootie says, wow, this is a challenge. It is, Tootie. You know, you'll have a lot of people come in and out real quick and say it's easy or it's easier. Saying it's easy versus easier are two different things. I do agree that it's easier having the spec, but to say it's still easy, I heavily disagree with, just because there's over 20,000 players that have died to it. So yeah, it's definitely not easy, but having the spec does make it much more manageable for your melee classes at least. Alright, so with that, we'll turn that in. But yes, it is still by far the most difficult challenge in the game. I have 6 deaths to account for that. Or no, Shadowstorm says, and be careful of vendors that walk away when you're selling stuff. Yes. In fact, I try not to use vendors outside of my amount as much as possible, but sometimes you can't help it for whatever reason. So, but yes, definitely watch out for those that walk away. Alright, so with that, we jump into the glaive here and give these guys the rest of the week off. There we go. So we'll knock him out. This quest is a little slow. It's a little more difficult up here because the terrain isn't flat, so the control over your little glaive is a little difficult from time to time. I know I'm hitting everything with one shot here, but it's, like I said, I've done this quest eight times now just for the Ironman challenge, so I kind of have an idea of what to expect. But generally speaking, it's a bit bit of a pain of a quest. It is kind of difficult to hit things. So that's gone. We'll take care of this guy way back here. It's interesting. Hey, Qyune. How's it going? What's going on, Xantric? Good morning. How are you doing? We're doing pretty well over here. We started at level 25 and sitting right at about 30 at the moment. Looks like halfway to 30. I'm gonna try to get in a position where I can hit one of these things. There we go. And the higher you're up you are in elevation, the more difficult it is to kind of hit these things. It's easier to hit them from a lower position, but that's not always feasible. But we'll head down there anyway. Also, jumping out of this thing can be a little buggy. And if we can hit that guy, perfect. And we'll hit that one. Alright, so with that, I'm going to jump out of this now just because... Oh, you know what? I have an idea. We'll run up to the top of this and then we'll glide down, since we have the gliders to use. In the meantime, Iku says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Iku. How's your challenger coming along? I know you said you got to 50 last time. And with that, we're going to get up here and see if we can glide down. So that's the other benefit for the gliders, is not only do they safeguard you from falling, they can actually speed up the travel time quite a bit. So it's pretty good to just stock up on those when you can. Satcher says, chugging along pretty well. Thank you, sir. Yep, we are. We are going surprisingly quick. After leveling Affliction, there's no way I thought we would make any sort of decent time, but with Destruction, this isn't too bad at all. And this is a very fun spec. Also, when it comes to the glider, just be aware that if you do a long distance like that, you have a very good chance of despawning your pet. So Sam is not with us at the moment, so we will need to summon him up in a second. Alright, so with that, we'll accept that. And I am going to bind my Hearthstone here. That way I can hearth back once we knock out this quest. As well as grab the fight path. And then let's see. So I think I finally managed to catch up with chat. Only took me 2 hours. Thank you guys for being a part of chat, by the way. That makes it a lot of fun. I know I've said that quite a bit, so I hope it doesn't have a diminishing return, but I do appreciate that. Since we have the bag open, let's go ahead and sell some stuff. I did previously purchase food. Let me see. I went ahead and bought my level 55 as well as 25 food. For some odd reason, in Darnassus anyway, your level 25 food is better than your 35 and 45. I don't understand why, but that is the case, so we'll go ahead and set aside all of our greens once again. That is soulbound as well. The other thing that you want to throw in the auction house when you can. Did I sell pants? Oh, those aren't no upgrade. Is meat. So your small eggs or your clam meat, stuff like that. Surprisingly, that does sell well on the auction house even still. So, excuse me, it is worth vendoring that, or not vendoring, but saving that to throw in the auction house later. Iku says, Jennifer says, alrighty, I'm quitting for the time being. Storm Cat 2 is 15. Well, congrats on level 15, Jennifer. Very nice. She says, this challenge though, I keep getting headaches doing it, so I might need to give it up. I'm sorry to hear that. I know those headaches can be pretty tough to deal with. Actually, let me take this chance to summon Sam before I forget. Let's see, our Goblin Gliders. I think we'll make use of them once again, just to make this process a little bit quicker. We'll just slowly land in a safe spot. Sam and the smaller pet still up, so I haven't lost them just yet. But the one thing you don't want to do with the Goblin Glider is land on top of mobs, because that just puts you in a really rough position. There we go. So I think if I just drain health off these guys, we should be alright. And then Harper says you're fine, and thanks sir, appreciate that. And Iku says my 2 characters have died for my lack of ability to control Voidwalkers. Don't use it anymore now. I have Argidon. So Iku, are you using the Imp then? Because for a lot of my questing, I kind of go back to the Imp. It's just when I know I need to tank something, I'll break out the Voidwalker. But generally speaking, I've kind of found the same opinion about the Voidwalker. Just the Imp is so much more effective because one, it stays at a ranged and it stays beside you, whereas the Voidwalker runs right up to a mob and pulls everything along the way. So it's more like a hunter pet in the sense that you just have to kind of keep an eye out for it. So there we go. Drain health off this guy a bit. But yeah, I kind of prefer the Imp for the most part. Alright, so with that... Oh, when these guys die, do watch out for the ground explosion. It does make life a little bit more difficult. Alright, so blow that up as well. The dragons flying around, those are not elites, so I learned that last time. One did aggro and it flew down, so if you're in that situation, don't panic and don't run. There's a good chance you'll be able to handle it. It's just surprising when those things drop in just because of their size alone. Now you do want to watch out for the big guy that's sleeping up there. I haven't had a reason to kill him, but he can hit, I'm sure, pretty hard. He has about 4k health as opposed to our almost 1300. So we don't have the heart just yet. I'll re-summon Sam since I've already stunned him. Magic says, what's the add-on that inspects armor items when you hover over them? That one I'm not sure. I want to say it's something like what's my item level or something like that, I believe, but I don't actually have it. Hey, it says, Qyune, I'm almost out of here of work. Let's see, don't know when I'll get back with you, moving and stuff. Thanks for these for the fun times. I'll send you around, my friend. Alright, H, you have a good move and be safe as well. I'm glad to hear that your dad's alright. So with that, we have all the meat that we need. We just now need to actually use this item. There we go. And we'll kill these guys just so we don't have to deal with them later. Spencer says Mogget. Now Mogget actually shows the item level? Oh, the armor. I see what you're saying. For some reason I was thinking you were talking about the item level. Yes, Spencer's right. It is Mogget. So with that, we will try to see if we can kill this guy over here. Sometimes these hearts can drop off the first mob, and then other times it takes half the zone to be able to find it. Let's see. Warlocks get much smoother play after level 15. Yeah, I would say so, and I would say it gets even smoother, say at level 34, especially for Affliction anyway. Whoops. Because your Drain Soul spell gives you somewhat of a shield, so your pet lasts a lot longer. So it's kind of nice in that sense. We still want to stay away from this guy just because he dropped something on the ground that kind of makes you blow up in the air. I don't think he dropped that one, so that works. Alright, so with that, we'll hop over here. All the while watching out for where do we need to go? Up here. So that's the dragon we want to watch out for. And that's the guy He's going to put something on the ground. Yeah, that is what we want to watch out for. And now this quest wants us to kill the egg, so we'll do that. And then Sam is dead. Yeah, so with that, yeah, the bad thing with that thing is sometimes it knocks you back. So if it knocks you in the wrong direction, it can kill you. But we did get the heart, so we're done with that. Let me summon Sam real quick. Marianne says, Pawn is quite nice as well. It's been a while since I've used Pawn. I did like it when I have it. I just haven't had a need for it here recently. But yeah, Pawn is a nice add-on. I'll stay away from this guy. Grab this egg and maybe hop up here. Nope. Maybe not. There we go. We'll grab this one last egg over here, and then we can hearth out, however you say that. And then Ryan says, I have my internet back. Well, welcome back to the internet, Ryan. How are you doing? We're doing fairly well over here. I think we'll hit 31 here in a second. I have all the quests knocked out in the area, I believe, yes. So we'll hearth back, turn those in, and then it's off to Deathless. For Deathless, the #1 danger, I think, is first trying to kill those satyrs or those demons in the corner. And then second is dealing with the Naga out in the open. After that, it's kind of straightforward. There's, you know, some 1 or 2 hit or miss quests, but the satyrs can hit pretty hard. And that is level 21, or sorry, 31. They're moving along pretty well. So with that, turn that in as well, and off we go. What we're going to do is use the Goblin Gliders once again, just to save some time. And I wonder if we can just kind of go way over here. We might be able to make it. There is a rare that pops up in this area, so kind of meander in that direction just a little bit. I think it's a harpy, right? This one's not always up. It can... Oh, there he is. I was going to say, sometimes this one can be harder to find, but it looks like he's just waiting on us, so that'll work. Oops. Has a little bit more health than I thought. The good thing about it is that he runs once he gets to low health, so not a problem there. And off we go to Deathless. Iku says, "Grats, thank you, Iku, appreciate it." And Jennifer says the time played at 30 was, let's see, 8 hours and 33 minutes. So I think there's faster at the moment. In fact, I'm 90% sure there is. I think someone's been level 40 pretty close to that time, so not the fastest, but not too bad. She says, "I don't see how you could possibly not die and reach 110 with only white and gray gear. I can't live with wearing blues." Yeah, well, you know, 2D, that's kind of a good point, because once you get to Legion territory, the Broken Isles, they say that's much harder, especially on a mob per mob killing kind of basis, much less the ones where you have to kill the guys that have a name to them and have special mechanics, and even more so coming across those rares. But excuse me, yeah, generally speaking, since the zones level up with you, it's just really difficult to level through there. And from what I've heard, I haven't actually had a character there just yet, so yeah, I think that's going to be really the more difficult content. And I think in the future expansions, if Blizzard goes back and they update all the zones to scale with you, I think that's going to make the Ironman challenge even more difficult, because a lot of the advantage that you have toward the end of the zone is that you out level it. For example, in Darkshore, that zone goes from 13 to 20, but every single time that we've leveled there, I've probably left there between 24 and 25. So Let's see, we'll make this our home. And we'll clean out our bags just a little bit. We do pick up quite a bit of junk and Deathless, so my bags are starting to get a little bit of pack. Since that's a neck piece, I'll keep it. We'll see if it sells. Well, I think we had gloves. No, it's something else. Okay. Alright, so with that, we'll sell that, as well as the axe and everything else pretty much. Yep. So off we go. You see, Jennifer says, nice, thank you, Jennifer. Like I said, we're getting there. And then, now it says 42, 13 hours, 37 minutes. Very nice now. We're catching up slowly. You know, to be honest, I don't know if we are catching up with you. I think we're leveling close to level for level at this point. Alright, so with that, we have this quest to turn in. And like I said, this next quest is probably the more dangerous of them, especially starting out. But as per normal, we're going to go see if we can find the goblin over here somewhere. That way we can kind of kill stuff. And the whole idea between this is this goblin gives 3 quests to kill anywhere from 15 to 20 mobs, I think. And there's 3 of those quests, so it can turn into an experience where you're grinding for 20 minutes. And you just kind of, as much as possible, want to avoid that. It's a little bit taxing on your nerves, and it just makes you start feeling rushed more. So I try to grab that right off the bat. That way we can kill stuff going from one region to the next to kill other mobs. But I don't want to pull this guy in. There we go. So that's kind of why I'm going over here to knock out the goblin first. The goblin's right in this area. Watch out for the dogs. But we have to go way over here, so. Oops. Alright. Yeah, we aggroed all of them, I think. So we'll keep running. We're a little bit lower level than I thought. Since there's 4 dogs, I don't really want to fight them all at one time. So we're going to just keep running here. And we're good. Alright, so. Let's see if we can kill this guy real quick. I'm not going to kill the Dread Swoop just because we have to kill him next. But let's see. Judy says, feign death for the win. It is very nice for the hunter. I tend to use, what is it called? Shadow Meld a little bit more often. Shadow Meld is not a cure-all. It has failed me sometimes, but it is a very good spell to have. So I almost prefer people just use a Night Elf more than, say, a hunter. But the hunter has a lot of other utility, so hunter's a good starting class. Alright, so with that, we have all 3 here. And off we go in this direction, I believe. Yes. Drifter's Paradise says, hello there. How's the add-ons going? Add-ons are up to date now, all except for 1, I believe. But Bartender, Z-Pro, everything's working fairly well. I keep forgetting to use my emulate now that I moved it. Alright, so with that, knock out this real quick. And drain health. Yeah, so since we've gone to a new zone, we're going to be summoning Sam more often. In fact, I might keep him actually. I might keep the Void Walker. Once we get up to a higher level, maybe we'll switch, but for now I think it's... You know what, let's just switch and see. I might bring out the Void Walker for when we get in that area where we have the stealth mobs and everything else, but for now maybe the Void Walker's best. Wow, he hits hard. Alright, so you know what? Change of plans. The poison hits pretty hard. So we're gonna go back to the Void Walker. It's slower. That's the only downside to it. It's safer, but it's slower. And that's usually the trade-off you have. And we did pull more than one. We'll go ahead and use Chaos Bolt on that guy. Yeah, I think we'll switch to the Void Walker. There we go. And Spencer says, ding, level 9. Great, Spencer. Very nice. We you said this is your second one, right? All right. So with that, let's go ahead and blow up these guys real quick. We don't need anything from the wind elemental, so we're going to avoid those guys for now. And then Clem says, reminds me of Ross. Well, thank you, Clem. You are not the first person to say that. That's why I laughed. So thank you for that. That's funny. I don't know why. It's funny every time I hear it. So, but thank you. It says, yeah, very nice. We this is for those that are new to the stream. This is my third attempt, and I've had 3 attempts so far with the Warlock. And once we go back, once October starts up, we'll start with the Hunter once again. But for now, for the next 19 days, yeah, 19 days, it is Warlock leveling. So we'll get there. It's kind of hard to believe that with as much activity as that we've had, that there's still 2/3 of the month to go through. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be hitting a lot, or having a lot more people join us. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone that comes in and plays. With that, we are in the second hour, so let me go ahead and put that up. For those that are new to the channel, I know there's quite a few watching at the moment, so welcome everyone. The Ironman challenge rules are on your right, as well as the Warlock participants. The Warlock Ironman challengers are on your left. For the month of September, we are doing a Warlock race where it's all Ironman, it's only Warlocks, and it's just a little bit of a fundraiser to bring awareness for Friends for Impact. Those guys do research on brain tumors that occur in children, and for those guys that are kind of, you know, actually making a difference in the world, as much as possible, I try to help them out. This is Keithy. His channel is Keithy1980. We're using his Discord. This is his event, and you know, his charity of choice. In December, we might do something again like this, where it has you know, maybe a different class or a different challenge or something. But for now, this is what we're doing, just to bring more awareness to those guys and provide them maybe with even a little bit of extra funds. I think we've managed to raise 30 pounds. 30 pounds or $30. I'm not sure of the exchange rate, but that is what we've done so far. So thank you everyone that's been a part of that. But as far as joining the challenge, it's a 2-part race. It's the first part's leveling from 1 to 60 with the lowest leveling time, play time, not necessarily how long it takes, but play time. And then the second portion is whoever has the highest living character standing at the end of the month also wins. Keithy has a third prize, which he's kind of been secretive about. So at the end of the month, those 3 prizes will go out. And I want to say, as it stands right now, Only is in a good position to have the prize for the lowest play time to 60, just because he's been the only one to hit 60. But it is an open invitation. You guys can join at... Oops. There we go. He keeps silencing me. That's rough. Oh, wow. Petrifying Stare. Let's see if we can... Oh, he's draining my my mana. That's interesting. Okay. But yeah, so those are the 2 challenges. I'll get that masked out of the screen. There we go. That was interesting. We almost lost ourselves to a basilisk, of all things. Alright, with that, we'll drain his health, get back up to 100%. And then Ghost Pro says, I was wondering about the white quality boots with stats from Princess Quest and Elwyn Forest, if those are allowed. Let's see. What are those called, Ghost Pro? And now it says they are. Okay. Yeah, you guys know more than I do as far as that goes. That's the first time I've heard of white items having a stat. It's, now it says you need $1 for every time someone mentions Bob Ross. That would be nice. That's it is funny when people say that, though, just because it's been so consistent. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead. the reason we're killing these guys and we're kind of not killing these guys just yet is that we want to work our way to the quest item first before we kill them, just because once we get the quest, then the quest items will drop. And I'm about to lose Sam once again. There we go. So I think the biggest thing is to, when you're leveling as a Warlock and you have your Void Walker out, the biggest benefit is to start summoning him when he gets down to say 1 or 2%. Sorry, maybe 10 or 20%. That way you can turn around and have another one ready to go before he dies. Otherwise, you kind of find yourself in the position we did just a minute ago where we're actually losing. We could almost be dying to a single mob here. My mana's pretty low, so I'm going to sit here and hang tight. I only have food, so I'm just going to hang tight for a second and catch up with chat while actually this scorpion's going to try to sneak up on me. That way our health kind of catches back up real quick. So we're about 20% mana, and I'll summon a new Sam here. Ghost says, okay, thanks. Yep, no, not a problem. I know, I think Nell was one help you there. Now says, totally need to Photoshop you and pop together. Oh man. I can see that making its rounds on the internet. Alright, so that is kind of funny though. Ghost Bro says, I think they're new with 7.3. Really? I'm gonna have to. What was the Ghost Bro? What's the name of the item? Because I want to look that up. That's the first time I've actually heard of that. I know there was some a while back, but you know they've been taken out of the game. But that's the first I've heard of those. So let's start making our way toward the quest item here. Like I said, the rough thing about this area, oops, is one, you don't want to get tricked into trying to DPS the illusionary guy. But two is when you have an open area like this, you just want to watch out and make sure that there's no stealth mobs such as I forget what they're called actually, but these stealth mobs can sneak up and make a easy fight very difficult very quickly. So this hits him for about 80-90% of the health, so that's nice. We'll go ahead and light this guy up. And use Drain Soul a little bit. Let's see. Lois says, good morning, Qyune. Good morning, Lois. Welcome back. How are you doing? And then Roll Credit says, almost done at level 5. This doesn't bode well. Yeah, Roll, you know, if it's your first time, what I've found is that if it's your first time, there's just a big kind of mental transition from going in guns blazing, because, you know, for the past decade, people have been leveling with their BOAs. So, you know, you're used to running in there with guns blazing, and if you die, you come back and you finish up the rest. But that's kind of the exciting thing when it comes to the Ironman challenges. It just changes the dynamic of questing so much that excuse me, it makes every quest very interactive in the sense that you have to kind of determine whether or not the risk is worth killing, potentially killing yourself for. Sometimes there's no way around it and you just have to blast through a quest, but other times, you know, it's just something that every quest is important just because you can't die a single time. So that's what makes it, in my opinion, very fun. Let's see, Zentric says, now you're 42. And she is. See, Law says, doing pretty good. How about you? We're doing real well. We started this morning at, let's make sure we're not aggravating something here. We started this morning at 24, I believe. And we're now 31? Halfway into 31. So we're doing really well. Not bad at all. And let's see. I stopped by Tassie's channel the other day just to see how she's doing. I think she's pretty busy with real life stuff, so but I did figure I'd check in on her. I know she got burned out to a certain extent, so I was hoping it wasn't too much. Alright, so with that Chaos Bolt is so fun. Just the ability to one-shot these guys. Alright, so we'll grab this quest. The first quest, we need to get 20 weapons from these guys, and then the second quest, 10 pieces of meat, and then the third quest, which we haven't received yet, which is on top of the mountain. I think we need 8 or 12 melons, so we run around trying to kill everything, gathering melons. Let's see. Zentry says, that's awesome, I need to catch up. I think I'm 26 now. Very nice. Yeah, Nail's going to be a master leveler by the end of this, I think. Excuse me. I think that's the first time I've seen your name. Says, I don't think it changed the dynamic. You're still pretty much one-shotting most. Have you played vanilla private servers? It still changes the dynamic quite a bit. Just because, like I said, if you do die, we did lose our pet. If you do die, you have to restart from level 1, and that's pretty ambitious take on, especially if you get to 40s or higher. But yeah, if Blizzard starts the legacy stuff, we'll definitely give it a shot on those realms. I think that would be a lot of fun, and it would change the difficulty quite a bit, I think. But alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can. The reason we're almost one-shotting them right now is just because I use Chaos Bolt every so often, like we're going to use right here. But no, generally speaking, it has changed the dynamic for me, just because, like I said, the consequence of dying is much stronger than it used to be with your BOA gear. We are out of soul shards, so grab this and work our way up the hill here. There is a rare that's up here, so we'll kind of progressively work our way in that direction. Let's see, Spencer says, I'm finally on WoW challenges. Iron Maid, Draenor EU. Very nice, Spencer. Like I said, welcome to the Ironman challenge. Let me write that down just in case. Well, you said you're in Discord, right? Because that's Crackspud, I believe. Excuse me, guys. Alright, so we have a soul shard now. We can go ahead and kill this guy over here. And we'll start with a Chaos Bolt. Crackspud says they have a +4 stam, +4 agility for male at least, and I got them 3 or 4 days ago. That's nice, actually. I'm gonna have to look that up. I wonder if there's something equivalent for Warlocks. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and use Chaos Bolt here. Because before we keep going further, we're gonna grab this quest. Just because, like I said, we have to oops, find 8 or 12 melons. I can't remember what the number was. There we go. So we'll pick that up real quick and see if that rare's popped up. He should pop up somewhere in, oops, this area. Yeah, so even one of the stealth guys having hit us for, I think he hit us twice, and we're down to 75%. So it's definitely a little bit more dangerous as the as a clothy class. Excuse me. And then let's see. Magic says the past early levels you don't one-shot mobs either. No, I've seen hunters one-shot, and I've seen what else is one-shotted? Paladins, believe it or not. It says you should play without a Chaos Bolt. Makes it too easy. You know, it does make it easy, but it's so much fun that it's hard to resist playing with them. Plus, it gives us a little bit of an edge to catch up with guys that are... Oops, let's go ahead and take this guy out. The bad thing about Chaos Bolt, I guess it makes it fair though, is that it does have a 3-second cast, and it costs 2 soul shards, so it's not... I think I can use it every other fight, but yeah, it's... I don't see the other rare, so we'll go ahead and just kill this guy. But no, we the first time we leveled, first time and second time we leveled, we died at 27 and 42. I did it as Affliction, and it was just a lot slower processing hold that I did just kind of randomly decide we'll give Destruction a shot this time around. And I say randomly, I've been meaning to do it since we started Affliction the second time, but yeah, I think I'm gonna stay Destruction as long as possible. I think the only change I'll consider making is when we get to 40. I think as Demonology you can get a Fel Guard, so maybe at that point we'll switch. Qyune says, okay, only use Chaos Bolt on rares and not on normals. We'll see. We'll see. And so it's pretty hard to give it up. Chaos Bolt makes this a lot of fun. Alright, so with that, I feel like if we didn't use Chaos Bolt, it would be the same as not using a Fel Guard at level 40. Let me see. We need the melons. Sometimes they spawn pretty close together, other times they don't, so. Man, that's nice. Alright, so with that, we'll dot this guy up, get a little bit of soul shards back. And Vermont says, I need to take off for, oops. Make sure I don't die here. Says, need to take off for a bit, reach level 23 and making good time. Thanks for fun. Alright, for Bolton. You have a good rest of the day, and thank you again, once again, for stopping by. We'll be doing this for quite some time. In fact, we'll be doing it the rest of the month, so there is that. Let's see. Go ahead and try to blow up this guy real quick. I probably should have saved that for the second one, but we'll be alright. Make sure we drain health, because I think he's going to hit us with a spell. There we go. Oh, there's a melon. Grab that real quick. And Robert says, so this takes a while. Robert, it does. That's funny. Yes, it does. To kind of give you a little bit of perspective, the fastest time we've had so far from 1 to 60 is 25 hours. Let's see. For my hunters, it took me about 3.5 days of playtime to get to level 85. But someone I only made it to 100. Took him about 5 days of playtime to get to 100. So I'm assuming to get to, say, level excuse me, level 110 is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 8 days of playtime. So like I said, it's a difficult challenge, but it's fun. It does liven up questing quite a bit. There we go. And I think I saw another melon up there. I thought I did. Yeah, there we go. So let's see. With that, I want to kind of keep track. We have 5 here. And we'll grab this one as well. So that would leave us 2 more, I believe. Yeah, we only need 8. So we'll grab this one. So definitely want to keep an eye out for rare spawns. They do tend to occur more frequently at this point in time. We've probably killed him once already, but we'll do it again just because he's patrolling around. Your patrolling mobs are the most dangerous just because they can kind of sneak up and take you out when you least expect it. We do need to loot him just in case he has meat as well as weapons. And this guy's coming around, so. I cannot get over how fun that Chaos Bolt is. Just one-shotting mobs. I can't imagine being decked out with heirloom gear and hitting these things. Oh my god, says our OMG Wookie. OMG Wookie. Welcome to the stream. I'm 90% sure that's the first time I've seen that name. It says, call me new, but what exactly is the Ironman challenge? Well, like I said, welcome to the stream. I'll put that up real quick. So the rules are on your right, and the Warcraft challengers for the month of September are on your left. But essentially it's leveling from 1 to 110 without dying, only using white and gray quality gear. The rest of the rules kind of tone in the challenge in the fact that you can only level by grinding mobs and questing, and then furthermore you can't group up with anyone at all. So whether that's a battleground, a dungeon, even pet battle leveling cannot do. So it's just a real bare bones leveling kind of quest, and the added challenge of not being able to do it or doing it without dying just makes it that much more challenging. To kind of give you a perspective on the difficulty, I think there's been over 20,000 attempts at it, and there's only 22 people that are at 110 at the moment. Might knock that guy out. And we did aggro something here. He hits hard, so I'm going to switch to Drain Life just to get back up to 100. But yeah, we'll summon Sam once again just so we have something at full health. But the purple box is everyone that's participating in the race this month for the charity event. It is an open invitation to anyone that plays Warcraft on public servers, or not public, retail servers. And we'll start with, we'll leave those guys alone. I don't feel like pulling two. But you don't have to stream to be a part of the race. You're more than welcome to join us if you're interested in it. So I think right as of now, that list was a little bit outdated. Oops. Excuse me. But one of the questions we've had is, can it be? Do you have to be on EU or North America? You can be on in either region. You can also. It doesn't matter when you start. You don't have to start on the first to be able to join. So it's a lighthearted event. There's not too many rules regarding the race. Let's see. We says, thanks mate, sounds brutal, but a great challenge. It's a lot of fun. I thought it would be very tough. It is tough, but it's a lot of fun too. So we'll throw the meat in there, grab this. Oops, I do want to get rid of that. That was blessings from above. So the second time you turn it in, you don't get any sort of XP, so we'll abandon it, turn that back on, and click off these buffs. There we go. I think I have, how many weapons? 15 weapons. Alright, so we need another 5 weapons. Oops, we'll knock out that real quick. And Big Ben, good morning, how are you doing? Welcome back. How's your morning going? But yeah, Wookie, we are, it's a lot of fun. I think I stopped mid-thought last time, but I'll definitely do it again. And we'll definitely be doing this until we get to 110, so it's definitely worth doing. And with that, we'll kill this guy. Once again, in this area, you want to watch out for open areas like that. A lot of people would mount up and run through here, but what's kind of different about this area is there's going to be stealth mobs like that guy right there. And he's going to hit pretty hard. And then if I had to take a guess, there's another one over there. So in this area, I don't mount up at all, just because there's that much of a risk when it comes to stealth mobs in the area. They can be pretty dense. So Big Ben says, "Oh, great, thanks, not a problem." And we need to take out this one. When he does spit like that, he he gets out of your targeting system. So you have to kind of retarget, and sometimes you can pick the wrong one, which is his illusionary self. So it's a rough area. These guys do hit kind of hard, so you want to take your time as much as possible and just focus on surviving more so than anything else here. Let's keep an eye on the weapons. So we are at 17, I believe. Excuse me. Go ahead and use the Chaos Bolt since it's up. And we'll kill these guys just because we're going to need to anyway in order to get access to that quest. But with that, I think, like I said, I would not be surprised if we hit, I might bump the number up to, I was saying 40 or 50 by the end of the month, but we're already at 40, so we'll say 50 or 60 by the end of the month. There's not really any disadvantage in joining later or earlier. Everyone who has joined, everyone who started out at the first of the month has died at least once, so that kind of gives you an idea of the difficulty level as well. We did not get all 20 weapons just yet, so let's go ahead and dump this guy up. Yeah, they're taking out Sam pretty harsh here. Since he has 8 health, we're going to go ahead and resummon a new one. And then for these, when you're pulling 2 as a Warlock, if you're doing destruction, from what I can see, is you want to dot up the first one with as many fire spells as you can, because when you pull the second one, you're going to reserve the Chaos Bolt for him. That way it just gets him off your back. and then you can even doing it all that way systematically. I'm still at 62% health, so just so we don't have something jump up on us, we'll sit down and eat real quick. For the Ironman challenge in general, I would say my top 2 recommendations would be make sure you have the highest food for your level, and also get goblin gliders as quickly as possible. Those will save you more often than not. You can use them to escape, but you can also use them to cover a lot of ground very quickly. Let's see, let's go ahead and click on these. Turn this in. It's going to give us a buff, I think. Or not. Okay. I thought it was. But if you get the buff, you just want to turn it off. Not a big deal once you get it. There's some buffs you get in certain zones that will you can't click off. I wouldn't stress those at all. They come with the nature of the zone. So we are back into this area. I'm going to kill this guy real quick. For the most part, I just want to run on the outer banks of this zone, just because there's so many stealth mobs that it's kind of tedious to deal with. So we'll kill that real quick and start killing some of the basilisks as well as the scorpions once again. And Pablo, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. It says you should use bolt on first stack. That way you only got one to deal with, so you take no damage. That might be the better plan, actually. Chaos bolt 1, instant death, set pad on the other one. Yeah, we might switch to that, because I was thinking maybe that didn't go quite as smoothly as I hoped, because it did get us down to 62%, I think. So maybe we'll switch to your plan next. We'll go ahead and use a chaos bolt on this guy, though. Man, those things are fun. Seeing that 880 crits, so nice. Let's see, let's go ahead and use another one on him. I'm going to mark the dogs just because there might be an off chance. Oops, let's go ahead and focus back on what we're doing. There we go. And we'll blow up this guy as well. Pablo says, hello, by the way, you doing good? We are. We've actually leveled a lot faster than I thought we would this morning. We started at 24. Sorry, yeah, 24? I think it was 24. I was thinking 28 for a second, but I might be mixing up my streams now. But yeah, 24, and we are level 31 at the moment. So I think that change difference is coming just from the switch in spec. I don't think I've been able to nearly level that quickly as Affliction, so I'm pretty happy with the change so far. Make sure nothing sneaks up behind us, and we'll dot this up. We are at 100% health. I'm just in the habit of using my dot. It does very minimal damage, so summon Sam once again. I might try to minimize using it too much. Excuse me. Alright, so with that, we'll keep going in this direction and use our Chaos Bolt on this one. Mopar says, use Conflag. That's an instant cast, but normally go destruction about level 80s while I'm questing around using dots. Yeah, I think Mopar, I think that's probably the safest way to go. The only reason I've switched to destruction is to simply give myself an edge in the level. The race is 2 parts, so your level 1 to 60 time, we're trying to get who has the lowest, and that's kind of why I've switched to destruction. But yeah, I agree. I think that Affliction is probably the safest route to go, but we'll see how it turns out at 40. I think there's the problem with destruction is that it gives you very little control in comparison to the other specs when you get to hitting mobs or dealing with 2 or 3 mobs at a time. But yeah, generally speaking, I do agree with you. Let's see. Let's go ahead and kill this guy as well. We do need the dread swoops. And that's done. We'll save the instant cast for this next one. see. Pablo says at 40, don't know when you get the Felguard, but you do. It would be a good choice. That's what I was thinking. And I think it is at 40 from what I heard. So we have about half the tails that we need. But yeah, I think I'll go that route and just, if for nothing else, give it a shot. But I heard the Felguard hits like a truck. I don't know if it's how dependent its DPS is on your gear. But if it's any indication like the Voidwalker, it's going to be pretty low. And Magic says, Destro has Rain of Fire, great for AoE farming. Oh, level 32, nice. And what is this? We have Banish again, very nice. Alright. So we're starting to get the spells we had last time back, so that's kind of nice. And we did hit, rather than hit for 880, we're hitting for about a little over 900 now, so that's also nice. And I think as we lower throughout here, we won't have to switch to, we won't have to use Conflagrate with Chaos Bolt. We do have all the tails, we have all the Scorpion tails as well, so the only thing we need is the Dread Swoop feathers. That won't be too hard to get. And Mopar says, I never did demo. You have heirlooms? No sir. Mopar, for the Ironman challenge, since there's a lot of people watching, welcome everyone. The rules are on your right. The Ironman challenge challengers for this month are on your left, and I will fine tune that later. I think we might highlight the guys that are in like the top 10 or something, but for this challenge it's to not die and only use white or gray quality gear. You can use nothing, you're free to do that, but no, heirlooms are definitely not allowed, as well as even greens or blues. So with that, if you need to see the rules again, I can pop them back up. If you want more detail, the WoW Challenges website is linked in the description. For those interested in doing the Ironman race, I think the Discord is the first link in the description, so that's all available to everyone. And now says, Grats, thank you now, appreciate it. We're at 32. I think that puts me within 10 levels of you. Probably not for long, knowing you. Let's see if we can hit this guy with one shot. Just to... No, we still need Conflagrate. Okay. The good thing about this, killing the Dread Swoops, is they do give more than one feather at a time. So it's not like you're spending all day killing these guys. And Ryan says, gotta love when you're level 32 and you only have 1.4k DP health. Yes. So that means more than likely the guys with BOA gear probably have close to 5k health. Normally that's the transition difference, is your guys that have BOA gear have generally about 3 times the amount of health. How that translates to attack power probably differs from class to class, but just because the transition's not linear, but yeah, I'm going to say it's relatively close. Alright, so that's 25, so we can turn in all this to the... That's interesting. We don't have a quest to kill someone over here. Unless that's way off. Oh, it is. I'm looking at the map wrong. Okay. Nope, we're good. We're back on normal. Robert says, level played 10 is about 1 hour 45 minutes. Yes, Robert. It only gets worse from there. That's kind of funny. It only gets worse from there. But, like I said, I think only has the lead time with a little over 25 hours for your 1 to 60. But I'd say under 2 hours isn't too bad to get to 10. I don't remember what mine was. Yeah, mine was 1 hour 37 minutes. So, you know, that's relatively close. I think this is what, your first shot, so it's only going to get lesser from there. So that's not bad at all, especially for a first attempt. I know I was well above 2 hours, so very nice actually. Paulo says, what's that little pet around you? Does it do anything? No, this is just my battle pet. I just have it to feel more Warlocky, I guess. I thought I cast a Chaos Bolt. I guess not. There we go. We do want to kill one of the guards running around. This one, because the first one that you kill will give you a quest to start collecting ears, so you want to grab that sooner than later. Because once you kill the named mob over here, it's going to have you run inside, and this is where it starts to get your first little taste of seriousness here at this level, because the buildings can respawn pretty quick, as well as ships and caves, so you definitely want to get in and get out as quickly as possible without pulling too much more than one at a time. So I'll let you guys know once we get that quest, but I think destruction is going to be good for that. We did it as affliction, but you know, that's a real safe spell. You can generally pull more than 1 or 2 mobs at a time and be alright. Logan says, good morning Logan, welcome back. How are you doing? How's your morning going? And Jennifer says, I have a level 32 shaman wearing BOA gear. She has 5k health so far, so that's probably about right. Yeah, generally what I found is, regardless of the level, you have about 5k more health, 5k more health, 3 times more health than you would if you were an Ironman challenger. So let's go ahead and kill that one. And you know what? No, we're going to save Chaos Bolt for the named mob. Because as much as possible, you want to, even if it seems like it's pretty mundane and you're just killing one named mob for a quest like this, you want to save all your attacks and cooldowns for that mob, just because sometimes the mechanics of the fight will surprise you, and it can generate a one-hit mechanic, or a I don't know, where it summons more guys. So you definitely want to hit it as soon as possible with as much as you have. So we'll save our Chaos Bolt for that. We'll give them 2, in fact. Oh, 1's enough. Okay. So we'll complete that quest. Take his ears if he has any. And this is the part where it gets a little bit sketchy. We have to move pretty quick. Robert says, just a little distraction. Pretty much. Yeah, chat can be distracted, so one of my recommendations is, if you feel yourself burning out on the Ironman challenge, definitely take a break, because that'll kill you faster than anything else will. It's just kind of going on autopilot and pulling stuff without too much thought. The difficulty in this challenge is that it does require a little bit of planning on almost every step of the way. So as much as possible, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're... Okay, we only pulled 1. That's good. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're just pulling mobs without, you know, planning too far ahead. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and pull his health. And I will try to keep up with chat at this point, but we're going to be juggling more than 2 things at once. Let me say, just woke up from late night of sleep, so that's nice as hell. Very nice. Well, glad to hear you got 8 hours of sleep. So by your standards, you should be good for what, like 5 or 6 days of sleep now? Because I know you're saying you get on average what, 2 or 3 a night. So glad it's easing up to some extent for you. He says, I did not have time to even be afraid when I entered Nessuary camp in STB. Yeah, that's really bad luck, Eco. I think Nell might have died to the same thing. Was it the guards? Oh, Agard the Crocodilus and hired guns did not like it. Yep. Alright, so with that, I'm going to use this spell first. But yeah, I think the same thing happened to Nell and then maybe someone else. So you're definitely not the first. I've actually turned off my AoE spell just to avoid that situation altogether. Let's see if we can one-shot this guy here. Sam still has a decent amount of health, but for this part, the idea is to get through as quickly as possible. Like I said, the mobs respawn pretty quick, and given the fact that they're in buildings, the fact that they're so close together even makes it tougher. Excuse me. And you want to make sure you kill the patrolling mobs too. Logan says it's been, it may have been in the hospital, but it's sleep nonetheless. Oh, you're in the hospital at the moment. What happened, Logan? What's going on, man? Alright, so we're gonna blow up this guy first. We're gonna take Iku's plan and switch targets here. Or switch tactics and use the Chaos Bolt on the first one. I can hear the wind. Can you hear the wind? I just heard it. So it's starting to pick up here. I think by the afternoon it will have died down. Alright, so this is my least favorite pull in this zone. Just because you kind of face pull 2 mobs. And I was hoping that would at least pull the second one. So what happens is you have a mob on your right and one on your left. And you kind of pull one sometimes. There we go. Alright, so we'll just use Chaos Bolt on this one. Alright, so with that. So sometimes when you run out of here like that, you can pull both from both sides. And that just escalates the situation pretty quick, especially when you see them jump on you like that. Alright, so with that, I think for this one, we'll blow this guy up first thing. That's nice. Alright, so maybe that's not nice. Probably should have saved my soul shards. So I'm going to put Sam on passive. Let's see if we can get some soul shards out of this guy over here. There we go. So we'll just kind of tank this guy. He does hit pretty hard. Alright, so now that we have the soul shard, we'll put Sam back on aggressive. Or assist, or whatever it's called, and then light this guy up real quick. Okay. Take the box and try to get out of here as quick as possible without Sam standing on my loot. There we go. And we need one more ear. So with that, I am getting further and further behind in chat, so I'll try to keep up. We need to turn this in real quick, and we get our follow-up to go into the second building. Then the BlizzCon says, at least you have internet with you. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's a good decision or not. Usually we lose power before we lose internet, so that's kind of why if I do lose power, I will immediately hearth and call it for the day. So if that happens, that's what's going on. Alright, so with that, we're still going to keep up with the same plan and use Chaos Bolt for this guy over here. Kind of curious if we can one-shot him. Nope. So we'll use the other spell for that. And let's go ahead and heal ourselves from him a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to get a full health Voidwalker here. The Silver Gas says, at what level do you feel this challenge begins to get tough? Let me... Oops. 3 Days Gaming, thank you for the subscription and welcome to the stream. I would say, you know, Silver Gaming, I would say at level 1 through 20, you might come across an encounter where there's one shot mechanic. Alright, so I know there's a patrol that comes by here. I'm just trying to keep my eye out for it, but I think she's going out through that direction. And I'm going to see if she takes a left or a right here. Oops, there's another one. I missed it. Oh no, she turned around, that's why. Alright. So with that, we'll summon Sam. What the other thing we need to do here is grab the skulls, but I don't see any. They might all be in the inside. But we're going to wait for this mob to come. But to follow up on the question, like I said, in probably your first 20 levels, you might come across something that's really dangerous. Let's see. Trying to determine how wise this is. Let me put Sam on passive for a second. Oh, there we go. Alright, put him back on aggressive and drain health. And then from say 21 to 30, you might come across 3 or 4 more. But I would say once you get into the plus 40 range, that's when you start, you know, you work your way into Eastern Plague Lands, and all those zones that you have to worry about. So I would say at level 40 is when it starts to get really challenging. And we'll go ahead and dot this guy up. I started out with the wrong spell. But yeah, sorry, Silver Game. It took me a while to get that out, but yeah, I would say at level 40 is when it really starts to get serious. So let's go ahead and I am going to stop using Chaos Bolt for the next couple of seconds here, our next minute or so, just because we want to save it for the boss that's going to get summoned with the 100 skulls. That's nerve-wracking. Alright, so with that, and then let's see, Robert says arrested XP boost is against the rules. No, Robert, arrested XP is 100% okay. In fact, you're definitely going to get it. Take that off. Whether you log out in an inn or you log out in a in the middle of nowhere, you're definitely going to get rested XP. So don't feel like that's putting you at a disadvantage or advantage, or if you're against the rules. You're 100% okay in doing that. I'm going to resummon Sam just so we're at full health. We need 100 of these skulls, so but no, I typically log out outside of an inn just because I want to keep the challenge as aggressive as possible, or challenging as possible. So with that, we're going to drop a Chaos Bolt on this guy if we can target him. And there we go. So we're still at full health, and I think we should be able to hearth back once we're done with this. Yes, we can. So that's what we'll do. And then Eco says, no, you are good. You made 3 levels in the time I make 1. Now says, thanks. Logan said, I hadn't slept in 4 days. I started seeing stuff and got extremely paranoid, so my buddy checked me in so they could put me out for a while. I know them at the hospital. It happens every month. So, wow, Logan, that's rough, man. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. At least they got you to the hospital and you're all right from there. You feeling all right now, then, right? Meep, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Says, what is this Ironman challenge? Can someone explain? Good morning, Meep. Welcome to the stream. I will put the rules up. So the rules are on your right, and the challenges for this month are on your left. But the challenge is to, let me throw this away. Challenge is to get from 1 to 110 without dying. And oh, we got a level 33 cloak. Very nice. So we'll set that aside. And it's a solo challenge, so you don't want to group up with anyone for any reason. The other rules kind of fine-tune the challenge to where it's only leveling through grinding or through questing. I'm trying to go through here and separate the stuff. You can use the auction house, but at the end of the day, it's leveling to 110 without dying a single time. So there's that challenge. We got our headpiece. Nice. All right, so set that aside. And I know I didn't go through that very well, so let me try that one more time. Just because we do have quite a few viewers at the moment. So welcome once again, everyone. Let's see. Let me go ahead and put on the headpiece here. And save that cloak for later, I suppose. The pants are not an upgrade, so we can just get rid of those. But it is leveling from 1 to 110 without dying. And for this month, all the names that you see in the purple box is everyone that's also participating in this month's challenge. We're just trying to bring awareness to a group called Friends for Impact, and they do research and brain tumors that occur in children. So we're just trying to bring that group a little bit of awareness, as well as have fun in the meantime. If you're interested in joining, anyone can participate in the Warlock race. Feel free to, level 33. Feel free to check us out in the Discord. Just let us know the name of your character and realm that you're racing on, and that's pretty much it. You're good to go at that point. So we're going to turn in these 2 quests real quick. But the race is 2-part. One is your lowest play time for getting to level 60, and the second one is the highest level standing at the end of the month. So I think Keithy, who's running the event, is going to have 3 prizes set out there, so he's kind of in control of that. But Yeah, it's a real lighthearted, open-ended event. So if you're interested in joining, feel free to do so. When you do die, you have to start from 1 again. So that's the challenging part. Let's go ahead and kill this guy so we can get on the road. But the other part is, so whether or not you're on EU or on North American servers, doesn't matter. You can feel free to join us. You can also be on Oceanic, I believe. The other thing is that, we've been playing from September 1st to and it goes, like I said, until the 30th throughout the whole month. But there's not real one major advantage in starting at the 1st, because everyone who has started at the 1st has died. So there's that. The leaderboard's always changing, so it's kind of, there's no late time to start, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of what everything is right now. It's been pretty fun. Like I said, we have over 40 challengers racing each other, so that's been fun. I would not be surprised if we hit 50 or 60 by the end of the month. So whoever's interested, you're more than welcome to join us. I want to stay on this path just so I don't aggro too much. But to catch back up, what chat says, BlitzCon says, is there any challenge there you got full PvP gear on without killing any player? I don't think there is. But to touch on the PvP aspect, so there's been over 20,000 players attempting the Ironman challenge. As of now, there's only 22 that have made it to 110. None of those have been on a PvP server, so I don't think it's possible. Especially if you consider if you stream it. If you stream it, someone's going to find your character and try to be the final act in your play. So I would not recommend PvP server at all. I think the challenges in PvE are enough. We probably have, within just our group and our race, probably over 40 deaths. So it is a very challenging challenge. So if you're interested, it's still fun. It's challenging, but it's fun. So if you're interested, you're more than welcome to join us. Let's see, Max says, did you die? You were 37 sometime last week. Max, I did. There was a rare bug in the middle of Thousand Needles, and it had bugged out, ironically enough. And we had hit it from a 40-yard range, but since we were swimming, it kept resetting itself. And with Affliction, I didn't really realize that due to the lack of damage until it was too late. So I tried to run. It was still hitting me from over 60 yards away, so it was just very very unfortunate. It bugged out, so not too big of a deal. That's the Ironman challenge. It happened, so we're back at it. We are level 33 at the moment, so we're doing just fine. Let's see, T says, it feels like 80% of the conversation on the stream is you repeating yourself. Not necessarily. Things tend to change, but see, the thing about a stream is that the nature of it will be repetitive, especially if you watch the entire time. There's going to be stuff that gets repeated because there's people that come in and out the channel asking the same questions, which isn't a problem. It's just that's kind of the nature of streaming. So I can understand where that gets old. So if you have to take a break, you have to take a break. But that is the, oops, I did not need to kill him yet. That is the nature of streaming. Stuff does get repeated, and especially stuff like the Warlock race where we want to kind of make awareness does get repeated more often than other stuff. So it's not too big a deal. It just comes with the territory. So we'll put on this and we'll fly around, and I will put this up in the meantime while we take a scenic view here. Catch up with chat. Art says Rimdare is PvP through and through. Yeah, so any PvP realm I would not mess with. Logan says, that's why I can't do the Ironman challenge. I love PvP too much. You say that. Wilson says, can you use food during this? Oh, Wilson, you can use food. The only thing is that it can't give you any sort of buff. The finer details to that question is that you can use food that gives you a buff, but you can either, eat for 9 seconds and then jump up before it gives you the buff, or you can just eat it and then click the buff off. I prefer not to use any sort of food that provides a buff, just to make things very distinct and very clear. But those the finer details of that rule. I just say no food buffs, so I don't eat any food that generates that buff. But so far says, I saw Aspen go into the challenge once. He died from invisible mob. Yeah, I think that was the first time, and then the second time he died due to stepping on the eggs or something like that. But he got really far the second time. I think he made it up to 84, so he did well. Next one he says, only for restoring mana, so no food buff. Yes, that is correct. Emil says, current level, I am 33 at the moment. So I think we've done pretty well for today. We've made it from 24 to 33, so that's really not bad for 3.5 hours. Once I try to get my playtime every 5 levels, and it seems like I'm relatively competitive. I don't know if it's going to be the best, but that is that. T says, please tell me what the Ironman challenge is. T, I don't know if you're actually if you know the challenge, because I think you've been here before and you're just getting me to repeat myself. I feel like that's... is that what you're doing? It says, can you use conjured mage food as a non-mage? I don't think so, because you would have to trade with another player, so I would say no. Which is what Maximilian says. Yeah, no group, so no. Centric says, the Western Plague lands in... Let's go ahead and take that down. Let me go ahead and turn this in real quick. There we go. The Western Plague lands... Oh, the Zenkiki questline gets you the Mark of the Water buff. Is this a flag? No, Xantric. Generally speaking, if you can't click it off, I don't stress about it. I don't get too tied up around the actual, because in Hellfire you can get, they say no XP boosting whatsoever, but at the same time, sometimes in Hellfire, depending on who controls the center, you can get that buff that you cannot remove that will give you 5%, I think, damage and as well as XP, so it doesn't really matter too much as long as you can't click it off. So we'll blow this guy up real quick, and we'll light this one up. And Logan says, T, you were just here when he explained the complaints. Don't be trolled. And bro, been curious, how do you find track all? What if someone throws on BOAs? If someone throws on BOAs, or if someone puts a green item on, it's tracked through the statistics on your WoW Armory page. So that's why we encourage people, if they're doing the Ironman challenge, to register on that page once they get to level 10, and that just kind of clears up the border from any sort of suspicious, if you want to call it that, suspicious activity. But yeah, so that's kind of how it's tracked, especially with regards to killing dungeon bosses, or stuff that would be more difficult to challenge or more difficult to track. With that, we'll light this guy up as well. And Magic says, mage food is always 100% mana health. Is it? I know you can't group up with people, so I don't know. You don't want to, trade with anyone or anything like that. Just want to keep it as clean as possible. Plus, the low-level food is pretty low cost anyway, so it's just better to, I guess, stay away from stuff like that may be on a I don't know, a grade level. It's not as clear. Generally, I just kind of take the stance that if you would feel bad when you hit level, say 110, if you make it 110 and you would feel bad for giving yourself 1,000 gold or trading food, I just wouldn't do it. It would take, to me, it would take from the, I don't know, the accomplishment out of the challenge if I knew that I had a somewhat of an edge early on. So that's why, as much as possible, I just try to stay away from that line. And let's see, he says, do you allow name change, name calling in the chat? Let's see, no sir, we did not. As much as possible, let's just try to keep it as friendly as possible. So as much as, like I said, possible, we want to just keep it friendly. I think it's a relatively adult channel, so we want to just kind of keep it friendly as possible. At the end of the day, it's a game. Nobody wants to come home to being name called and everything like that, so just take it easy. And with that, we'll go ahead and dot this guy up. And Magic says no papyrus. It's still tracked. And let's see. Max says, can you use crafted items like craft them on your main and then Max? So not necessarily, because you cannot have any sort of profession. The only profession, including primary and secondary, that you can have is first aid. So there's that. Of course, says I went back to fishing for the day. Very nice. But yeah, as far as secondary professions, you can't even have, you know, if you were doing the Ironman challenge, you can't even do fishing or anything else like that. So take care of that guy. And let's see. Next one says Hellstone is allowed on Warlock. So Soulstone's, I guess you can have a Soulstone, but it's not going to help you. Because a death is a death at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you res back up due to your health or soulstone. So it really doesn't do you any good to soulstone yourself. Just because, like I said, if you die, it still is considered a death. Alright, so with that, we will, let's see if there's a rare here. You can use the Unending Breath as a Warlock, so that's kind of nice. And we're going to see if the crab has popped up anywhere. It's at this point in time, it's not worth spending a lot of time looking for it, but it is worth poking your head in the water and just seeing if it's there. And then Max says, of course, the Soulstone doesn't prevent you from dying, which is exactly right. Angela Frisch says, hi, I play on Deja on Storm Rage. My question is, I've been watching for a bit. Rare mob that gives better gear and XP, is that allowed if you happen to come across? Absolutely, Angela. In fact, I kind of go out of my way to kill him a lot of times. Sometimes to AH's dismay, even though he's not here. But yeah, you can absolutely use and kill rares and then use those BOEs to sell on the auction house. So, in fact, when I typically start my Ironman Challenger, I will make a point to kill all the early rares. That way I can get the bags off of them. And that just gives me the opportunity to not have to need to sell something every 5 minutes. So, but yes, you can kill rares and in fact you can kill the same one more than once. That's a great question. And yeah, it was actually. I don't think I've seen that one before. Let's go ahead and blow up this guy. Nope, we don't have a soulstone to do that with just yet, so we'll let those separate and then we'll grab this one, I guess. Mopar says you can use Unending Breath, but that is a deleted buff. No, it's I actually have it right here. Unending Breath. So it's still here. So we'll blow this guy up real quick. And then Logan says, alright man, gotta drive home. I'll jump back in later. Have a good one, brother. And keep the Warlock alive. I will do, Logan. Thank you for stopping by the way. Hope you're glad you're feeling better, actually. So you drive safe. Let's see. Angela says, but can you use gear from that drop? No, Angela, you cannot. Just like Logan said there. No, you can. The only thing you can do with that gear is throw it on the auction house and get a little bit of gold for it. And she says, what about Ironman as a rogue? That's, oh, Tori is asking that. What about the Ironman as a rogue? That is absolutely okay. You can do it as any class. The DKs and the Demon Hunters are tracked on two different spreadsheets, just because those two classes don't encounter all the dangers that all the other classes encounter. You know, you have Azeroth and whatnot, and There's only been we're on day 11 of the challenge, and there's only been one person who's made it out of Azeroth so far. And so, you know, it's just when you have that level of content being skipped, you know, they just track it in a different spreadsheet altogether. But as a rogue, you're 100% okay. In fact, I might try a rogue for my melee class. Let's see, there we go. I might try it for my melee class once I've leveled up the hunter. And she says, TY, no problem, Angela. Like I said, if there's any questions or whatnot, and I'm not online, feel free to stop by the Discord. And usually I keep an eye on Discord, and then there's Keithy as well as all the other Ironman challengers at the moment. So if you do have any any questions when it comes to it, do feel free to stop by. And Sneaky says, hello, Qyune. What's going on, Sneaky? Long time no see. How you been? Welcome back. We are level 33. Well, about 30% into 33. And Jennifer says, you can do that, Tori, but I won't count towards this race. Yes, so Jennifer's correct. I don't know if that's what you were asking, so if so, I apologize. But yes, for September, we are just doing Warlocks. Just to kind of keep everything on the same page. We're thinking about tossing around the idea of maybe in, you know, with this challenge, there's been a lot of deaths, so maybe in December we'll do something with hunters just to see if there's a little bit more success. It would be some good data to consider when, you know, with all the deaths that we've had this time around, just to see how frequent and what level of the deaths occur as hunters in December. And that might be able to give us a determination on if one class is necessarily easier than another, or if it's just speed at that point. But let's see, Sneaky says, I visited my grandma for 4 days trying to keep up with you now. Oh, thank you, Sneaky. Like I said, welcome back. We're kind of in the hurricane, outer reaches of the hurricane at the moment, so power hasn't flickered and internet's doing well, so we're doing pretty well over here. Let's see. We need one more bone, I think. Yeah, that's it. I think that drops off this guy. And Ryan says, what was your first class and your favorite class? Ryan, so my first class was a arms warrior. And to give you an idea of how much of a noob I was, I want to say in my late 20s, I was missing about, and this was back in vanilla, I was missing about 10 talents, maybe 15, and we'll go this direction. Had a, like I said, was arms, had a shield, a gray shield, and a blue dagger. So I had no clue what I was doing back then. It was alright. A warrior was not a good class to start with back then. It still kind of carries, the warrior still kind of carries the cross it bared back then, in the sense that it was very gear dependent, and even more so maybe weapon dependent. You know, the amount of damage you could do was very heavily dependent on the weapon you had. And that's still kind of the case today from what I can see. But these days probably since Cataclysm, I main a Frost DK, so that is my choice of poison. We'll accept that. Let's just use the item, and then we'll take it right back off. That way we can fly back to Nigel's Point? Yeah, Nigel's Point, and turn that in. And then to keep up with chat, he says, another one of my favorite spots to quest. Oh, and Desolus? Oh, really? Honestly, it's Desolus and Silithus are probably my least favorite zones. I've never been a real big fan of the desert-like environment, but the early portion, as far as questing goes, the early portion of Desolus isn't too bad, but it's when later into the questing when it gets a lot better. You're doing 2-3 quests at a time, so it's kind of nice. Let's see, Angie says, are you on PvP or PvE server? I am on a PvE server. especially with the DK. I'm on Khadgar and Ilaria, so there is that. Those are two merged. He says Frost is the most new class. Maybe so, maybe not. I think it just depends on the person, what they enjoy most. He says Deathless is great for skinning and mining and even herbs. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've actually never farmed out here, so I didn't even know that. I do see quite a bit of ore now that you mention it. Alright, so we'll turn in this quest down here. And I think that is pretty good, actually. I think we'll park him here. And this will probably give us a good starting point for tomorrow. We'll kind of keep it down to about a good bit over the 3-hour mark, but we'll keep it right about here for today, I think. Let me go ahead and clean out my bags. That way we're good to go for tomorrow. But let's see. I think I've finally managed to catch up with chat. But yeah, thank you guys for the wave of subscriptions and likes today. I do really appreciate that very much. That is, I think, going to be it for today. We did make it. Today was a normal stream, but we did go over about 45 minutes, so we're doing well there. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. We'll keep that over here. And that's our hardened cloak. Oh, okay, so that's what we want to put on here in a second. But yep, we're going to clear out the bags real quick. Sell that as well. And yeah, I think we did pretty good today. We went from 24 to 33, so that's 9 hours and about a little less than 4 hours time. With that being said, we'll log out here and we'll put this up for anyone that's interested. All the links to all this information is in the description, so you guys are more than welcome to join the race at any time. Like I said, I do keep an eye on Discord, so if you have questions or you want to get in touch, that's probably the best way. Let's see. I'll catch up with chat while we log out here. Says I used to carry. Ryan says I used to carry the mentality that Arcane was boring and unfun, but switching the spec of my mage from Frost to Arcane, it's not that bad. Also, I'm going to have a weird name for my spec, which is Rubo Frosty. Very nice. Yeah, I haven't really leveled a mage yet. Maybe in the future we'll consider that, but I don't have too much experience with the mage all that much. But 2D says was fun. Took care of my withdrawal for a while. Well, I'm glad I could help with that, 2D. Thank you for being a part of today's stream. And Angela says, okay, what is the thought about the people who are taking this challenge to a PvP server? Wouldn't they get more credit knowing how much target? Kind of, Angela. The thing is, though, no one's been able to get to 110. So the assumption is, out of the 20,000 attempts in the Ironman challenge, there's not been a single one that's made it to 110. I think the highest I've heard of so far is 96, 97-ish. So yeah, I don't think that's feasible at this point in time. Maybe once someone does it, you know, people will try it more frequently, but general consensus is that it's pretty much impossible. Magic says, isn't the best way to make the name picture is by making the Word document and screenshotting it. Best way to make the name picture. I'm not sure what you're referring to. If it's the screen, maybe so. Jennifer says, well done on 11 today, Qyune. Always a pleasure to watch. Well, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. And thank you, everyone, for being a part of today's stream. All the information that we've talked about today is in the description. So if you guys want to check that out, you're more than willing. More than willing to do so. So it's there if it's available. Let me see. I think I have everything. I do. Okay. Yeah, everything that we've talked about today is in the description, so there it is for you. Now it says, thanks Q, and Magic says, oh, the name of the challengers. I got you. Yeah, I might consider doing that. It's just, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I might consider doing that, actually. Let's see. Colm says, sound like sausages. Very nice, Colm. Congrats, by the way. That's kind of funny. But yeah, guys, that is it for today. So once again, thank you for watching. You guys have a great rest of the day. For those that are still in the path of Irma, you guys be safe, take care. We're on the outskirts, so we'll be alright. And that is it for today. So you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you at this time tomorrow. Take care.